It's time for the nightcap here in day number 1 of the men's Big Sky tournament. Scott Gerard alongside the coach Joe Cravens. Thanks for making us part of your evening here on WatchBigSky.com. And we've said the best for last, Coach. A battle between two of the top scorers in the Big Sky Conference as Montana State gets a chance to go head-to-head with Southern Utah.
What's amazing, Randy, Onwuasor and Tyler Hall, only 2 points separated the leading scorer in the league and the second leading scorer, Randy Onwuasor, scoring 2 more points throughout the entire season than Tyler Hall, but 2 prolific players. And we've had 2 terrific games here tonight. This one even comes close to matching up to how competitive the first 2 games were. We're in for treat number 3.
Yeah, it should be a really good battle between these 2 top scorers, but let's start with Montana State, Coach. One thing that's really been interesting to watch from this team all season long is a certain level of consistency. You know, as a former coach, you know that injuries can cause all kinds of problems for your squad. Well, they've had 4 players, 4 starters that have started every single game for Montana State this year. That's a big luxury for Brian Fish.
Brian Fish has done a wonderful job. Only his second year, they will have at least a 500 season. If they win 1 tournament game, they'll finish with the first winning season in 8 years, stopping a run of 7 straight losing years. They also stopped a run of 13 straight losses to their in-state rival, the Grizzlies. So Brian Fish has gotten a lot accomplished in just his second year. He has the smallest team in the Big Sky, a 6'6 center, a 6'4 4-man, and then 3 guards. But again, Tyler Hall is a prolific scorer, and this is a very, very effective team that plays small ball to the nth degree.
There's only been one other player in the Big Sky that got to 700 points quicker than Tyler Hall, and that was a kid from Eastern Washington that you probably did battle with in Rodney Stuckey.
Rodney Stuckey, who is in his 10th year in the NBA right now, is pretty handy in his own right. If you like great guard play, this year in the Big Sky may be the best overall that I've seen in my 15 years of association with the Big Sky.
So in this kind of game, if you're coaching one of these 2 superstars, do you just let them go and see what they can do for you?
Well, I think both these teams, Todd Simon in his first year with SUU is trying to kind of get himself established, much like Brian Fish did last year. I expect a free-flowing game. Both teams are a little bit undersized. I expect it to be an up-and-down game. And, again, if the first 2 games are any indication, I think this will be a very competitive game.
You know, Montana State's in an interesting situation here, coming in as the number 6 seed when they really felt like they were going to get a first-round bye, but a late loss to Weber State to the final game of the regular season pushed them to the opening round where they'll take on Southern Utah. So Montana State licking their wounds a little bit, has something to prove today.
Well, they'd won 5 straight before they go into Weber State, where they had the lead at halftime.
Yep.
It ended up being an 11-point game, but it was really only a 2 or 3 possession type game. But we talked about earlier, it may be an advantage, especially for a young team like Montana State, to play this first night. If they get a win, whoever wins this gets tomorrow off, and then they get to continue to play. When you're a young team, an inexperienced team, that may be to your advantage playing the first night.
They do get the number 3 seeded Weber State, whoever comes out and top in this game, with Montana State the 6th, Southern Utah coming in as the 11th seed. Southern Utah, difficult season for them, 5-26 overall, 3-10. You got Randy Onwuasor, who obviously has had himself a tremendous year, but he needs some other people to help him out tonight.
Well, they have lost 26 games, but their opponents have outscored them by an average of 8 points a game. So much like Idaho State in the previous game, they've been in a lot of games, and they just haven't been able to get over the hump and learn to win. But that's true. Onwuasor has had a terrific year, but he needs some other guys like McGee, like Marshall, the other 2 guards to kind of help him out here tonight.
We're going to get some starting lineups here in just a moment, get you ready for a fun game between Montana State and Southern Utah. We mentioned Montana State coming in at the number 6 seed at 16-15 on the season, 11-7 in conference play. Southern Utah, on the other hand, the 11th seed, 5-26 overall, and 3-10 in conference play. They come into this game with a 4-game losing skid that they'll hopefully try to snap tonight, as the Thunderbirds have a lot on the line to try to salvage a little bit of the season with a chance to knock off Montana State here in the tournament. All right, so let's get you your starting lineup for the Southern Utah Thunderbirds. Randy Onwuasor, a 6'3", 210-pound player from Inglewood, California. Obviously, tremendous player, averaging 22.8 points per game on the season. Number 5, John Marshall, your other starter, 6'1", 180-pound senior from Phoenix, Arizona. Will Joyce gets the start, 6'6", 200-pound senior from Newark, New Jersey. Also, James McGee, 6'2", 185-pound junior from San Clemente, California. And Ivan Madunic, number 22, 6'11", 220-pound freshman. He comes from Croatia, coach. A little bit of an international player for Southern Utah going into this game, who I think will probably treat this game much like we saw from Idaho State. They got nothing to lose tonight, so play loose, have some fun, and see if you can make some noise tonight.
Well, I'm interested in seeing the Madunic kid, a big international kid, getting a lot of playing time on a freshman, and that's how good big guys are built. You bring them in, they get a lot of playing time that first year on a team that's maybe not so good. You build around them, and he's got a chance to develop and be a very good Big Sky post player.
Yeah, no doubt about it, too. And Montana State coming in, as we mentioned, the number 6 seed. They've won 5 out of their last 6. In fact, they had a 5-game winning streak going into that game before they lost to Weber State to end the season. And ironically enough, the winner of this game gets Weber State. I'm sure Montana State would like another shot at those guys. Here is your starting lineup for the Bobcats in this game. Number 0, Zach Green, 6'5", 200-pound junior from Gilbert, Arizona, has started all 31 games. Of course, the guy that everyone will keep an eye on tonight, Tyler Hall, 6'5", 200-pound sophomore from Rock Island, Illinois, averaging 22.8 points per game. Sam Newman, 6'6", 210-pound sophomore from St. Paul, Minnesota. Again, another 31 out of 31 starts this year. Harold Frey from Oslo, Norway, 6'2", 180-pound freshman. All 31 starts this year. Oslo, what, little south of Cedar City? Is that what you said?
South and east, we decided.
There you go. And Devontae Kleins, your other starter in this one from Los Angeles, California, 6', 175-pound guard.
Well, Coach Fish has made one change in these lineups since the beginning of conference play, where he took Quentin Everett, a terrific player off the bench who's averaging almost 10 points for him, and inserted Devontae Kleins, and gone even smaller than what he was before. I think the smallest overall team in the Big Sky, but that's been a very subtle move and been a very effective move.
So we're ready to tip this thing off here at the Reno Event Center. Southern Utah up against Montana State right here on WatchBigSky.com. The final game of the night. The men's side will continue on Thursday here at the Reno Event Center. Tomorrow, it's 4 of the women's games in quarterfinal action. Set to tip it off for Southern Utah will be number 22, Madunic. He will tip off for Montana State. Looks like those services are going to go to Zach Green. And we're ready to get this game going. Scott Gerard alongside Joe Cravens here at the Reno Event Center. Ball controlled by Harold Frey. Moving right to left. Over to Zach Green. Green working it over to Kleins. Kleins back up top to Hall. Hall trying to create. He's going to draw the foul.
And I'm very surprised Randy Onwuasor is guarding Hall and picks up an early foul. I think that happened off the switch. And now on the out-of-bounds play, Onwuasor goes to Kleins. I'd hate to see him on Hall all night, because I think he's very susceptible to getting in foul trouble.
Kleins into the lane, jump shot up and good. He's got the first points of the game. Montana State out to a 2-0 lead over Southern Utah.
Kleins only averages 6.5 points, but he had a great weekend last weekend, 13 points and 12 points. So kind of upping his scoring in the last weekend of the conference season.
Onwuasor dumps out of the double team, hands it off to Will Joyce, who gets the layup and ties this game up at 2 apiece.
Well, if Montana's going to come double team that low post catch, they've got to be more aggressive with hands up and get their body right up on him on Wurzel so he can't pass out.
Harold Frey, long 3 from the right wing, drops it in. He's a 43% three-point shooter, so you know that guy can hit it from the outside.
Well, he's had a great year, freshman of the year in the league, and also third-team All-Big Sky Conference. The Bobcats have had back-to-back freshman of the year in Frey and Hall.
Bobcats turn it over, layup and in. Devontae Kleins pushes the lead to 7-2 for Montana State.
Boy, as quick as that, 7-2, the Bobcats jump out in front.
On Wusor, post-up pass, down low, once again to Will Joyce. He may not have scored, but he's got a couple assists.
Back-to-back assists, and Montana State did a pretty nice job of picking that roll up on the pick and roll there, but Will Joyce made a nice finish in and around the basket. Mostly kind of a dirty work type guy is Will Joyce.
Climbs into the lane, dishes it off. Shot up is missed by Zach Green. And here comes Southern Utah going the other way. Southern Utah trailing in this game early, 7-4. Pass down low. Turnaround jumper, push shot up and good. And Will Joyce has all 6 points for Southern Utah.
Will Joyce only averaging 3.3 points, and as you say, 3 baskets here in the first 3 minutes.
Frey dumps down into the lane, shot up, and it won't count. We got to travel. Sam Newman took an extra step. Nice pass down low by Frey, but Newman unable to convert because of the extra step.
Sam Newman has started all 29 games this year. He's missed a couple due to injury, 29 out of the 31.
He's averaged nearly 8 boards a game, too, over the last stretch of games. John Marshall, number 5, works it over to McGee. McGee misses the 3, but a foul down low is on Southern Utah. Montana State will inbound.
James McGee, the second leading scorer on this team at almost 14 points, led the team in scoring last year. San Clemente played at nationally acclaimed Mater Dei High School in Orange County.
Good football program, too.
Good athletic program. They're good in about everything.
Frey over to a baseline jump shot. And Zach Green couldn't get it to fall, but the tip-up is up and in, and Montana State up 9-6.
Devin Kirby, the 6'10 freshman on a left-handed tip-in. Kid that doesn't get a whole lot of time. In fact, his career high is only 4 points.
Montana State leading Southern Utah 7-6. Long shot up, missed, and here comes Montana State. Coach Fish trying to get him to push the tempo. Frey, long 3-point shot, up and good from the left wing. 12-6 the score, 16:26 left to go.
Well, Montana State leads the Big Sky in 3-point makes per game at right at 10, 9.9. In transition defense, you can't run to the paint. You got to run to the 3-point line to defend them.
Right wing 3 up and good for Southern Utah. Going shot for shot with Southern Utah. 12-9 is our score.
Tyler Hall, the second leading scorer in the league without a shot so far.
Kleins into the lane, turnaround shot, missed. And here comes Southern Utah going the other way. James McGee has to pass it off over to Madunic. Madunic creates some space for Onwusor, who cranks a 3 and gets the 3.
Coming off the ball screen and then a step back to create a little space to shoot that from. Montana State's going to have to be ultra aggressive in guarding that ball screen on Onwusor.
3-point right wing shot missed, but Hall's there for the rebound. He'll take the shot inside the 3-point line. That's missed, and Southern Utah quickly with the rebound. Onwusor attacking into the lane, shot up and missed. Frey's there for the rebound for Montana State, and he's tied up by Onwusor, and the ball will go back to Southern Utah. Fast-paced action here in game number 3 of the Big Sky tournament. 12-12 is our score. 15-12 left to go in the first half. Big Sky basketball and watchbigsky.com.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Get a good feeling. Sometimes I get a good feeling. Yeah.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
Fun first 5 minutes of this game. We're all square up at 12 apiece, Montana State and Southern Utah. These two teams getting after each other pretty good here in the early part of this one. Back and forth, a lot of opportunities for both teams. And Coach, this could be a sign of a really fun game today.
Well, I tell you what, 12-12, if it continues at this pace, we're on pace to score 100 by both teams. It's really interesting. These two have never met in the conference tournament. This is their first meeting ever in the Big Sky Conference tournament.
Southern Utah coming into the league just a few years ago and have adjusted nicely on Wusor, misses the three, and Montana State with a rebound. Quentin Everett checking in, number 24 for the Bobcats. Working it over to Sam Newman.
Before that timeout, Southern Utah shooting 62%, Montana State 50%.
Joe Vazzulo into the game. He's into the lane, tries to get it up, can't get it to fall, but they're going to call a foul away on Montana State, and Southern Utah will regain possession with a tie ball game and their chance to take the first lead in their game.
Montana State, a whole lot like that Portland State team we saw in the first game today, on attack on virtually every catch, just attacking the rim. They don't waste a whole lot of time getting a shot at.
Working it around, looking for a shot. Into the game is Jacob Calloway, number 10. He might get his pocket picked, and they're going to call a foul on Montana State. Quentin Everett a little aggressively defensively.
Jacob Calloway, the big freshman from Juneau, Alaska, had 18 points 10 days ago versus Sac State. We've seen several good-looking freshmen in today's three games. A lot of them look like freshmen, kind of tall and skinny, and Jacob Calloway, no exception. That 6'8", 190. As these guys get bigger and stronger, they're all going to be very good Big Sky players.
Race Parsons, number 13, checks in for Southern Utah as well. John Marshall will take a seat. Into the lane, out of control, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Christian Musoko.
Christian Musoko played up in my neck of the woods at Layton Christian, then a little bit at Salt Lake Community College, originally from the Congo.
So Montana State back on offense, game tied at 12 apiece. A lull in the action here, at least from a scoring standpoint. Tyler Hall, who's yet to score in this ball game. Instead, baseline drive, up, shot, and missed by number 24, Quentin Everett. Here comes Southern Utah back in transition on Wusor, trying to create some offense for himself. Into the lane, push shot, missed. Fight for the rebound, and Tyler Hall's there to bring it down. Hall, who's averaged five rebounds a game, has the ball, tries to keep it himself, has to dish it off. Back to Hall on the left wing. He'll take a long three, miss it.
Tyler Hall is not only an outstanding scorer, he's a good defender, and he's also, as you said, a very good rebounder, over 5 rebounds.
James McGee dumps it low to the big man who throws it down as Christian Musoko thunders home a dunk and gives Southern Utah their first lead in the game. Three-point shot up, rattles out for Montana State. Down by 2. They're going to snag Southern Utah with a foul, and Montana State will stay down on this side of the court. Hall, who is yet to score on Wuso, has 3 points in this game on a 1 of 5 shooting.
Tyler Hall is coming off his second lowest scoring output of the season, only 11 points at Weber State, where had a tough time finding the rim, 2 for 11. The only time other than that he hasn't scored in double figures was early in the year. He only had 9 points. He's been in double figures every time, but 11 points well below his average.
On Wusor and Hall are a combined 1 of 7 shooting to start this game. Right wing 3 up, missed. Offensive rebound by Montana State. Kick it out on the left wing. Hall's got it. Hall swings it back over. Right wing 3, that one goes down. Joe Buzzolo knocks it down, 6'5", 180-pound junior from London, England, drops in a long three.
I tell you what, twice in that possession, Tyler Hall passed up good shots to help his teammates get an even better shot.
Onwuasor draws contact, finishes, and he'll get another free throw. An and one opportunity from Southern Utah, who leads by one, 16-15.
That's what you call sawmill strong going to the basket there. Randy Onwuasor leading with his body, seeking contact, keeping his chin off his chest. A terrific finish for him. He has shot 231 free throws going into this year, which is a bunch. Almost just under 10 a game.
Free throws up and good. Southern Utah up by 2, 17-15. Montana State trying to create something offensively. Climbs into the lane, works it over to Frey. Frey gets into the lane. He dishes off. Baseline jumper up and good by Quentin Everett. Onwuasor quickly down the court. He wants to get into the lane to try to score himself. Crossover dribble between the legs and then pulls it back out. Putting on a show for everybody here at the Reno Event Center.
He is. Onwuasor, a transfer from Texas Tech, where he played in every game the year before he left Tech, originally from Southern California.
Left wing three-point shot up and rattles out. Rebound brought down by Vizzolo. And here comes the Bobcats going the other way. Kleins thinks about a three, sends it over to Frey. Frey contemplates it as well. They're giving him a little bit of space. That is a 43% three-point shooter. Surprised he doesn't take it. Frey back to Kleins. Kleins gets into the lane. He'll take that shot up and he'll finish it, and he'll get one free.
Strong finish in. Rance Parsons, one of the few seniors on this team, started leaning toward the ball screen, and of course, then Klein just took him right away to the other end. Montana State up 2.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
Looking for your next opportunity? Discover your opportunity at Idaho State University.
Montana State trying to avoid an upset loss. They lead by Southern Utah early in this one, 19-17. We've seen some great moments from Onwuasor from Southern Utah. We're still waiting for Tyler Hall to break out. He's held scoreless for the first almost 9 minutes of this game.
Well, he's only taken 2 shots, and I thought he had passed up several not wide open looks, but good looks for him. At 6'5", he can get his shot off in the crowd. But I kind of tip my hat to him. He's passed up good shots for him and got his teammates really good shots, really showing a lot of unselfishness.
So Southern Utah and Montana State, remember this is an 11-6 matchup with the winner going on to play third-seeded Weber State. That'll be the nightcap coming up 2 nights from now. Devontae Kleins, couple of free throws. He's a 59% free throw shooter, but hits that one nicely to complete the old-fashioned three-point play, and Montana State's up 20-17.
Klein now the leading scorer in the game with 7 points. Kid that just averages 6.5. Excuse me, Scott.
Southern Utah trying to create something offensively. Straightaway three is down as Race Parsons from Monroe, Utah knocks it down to tie this game up at 20 apiece.
South Sevier High School, when he came out of high school, he was one of the leading scorers in the whole state of Utah.
Vizzolo trying to create something, can't get it, swings it over to Newman. Now a shot is blocked and will go out of bounds and remain with Montana State.
Brian Fish holding Hall out after that timeout, giving him a little extended rest there.
Montana State inbounding underneath their own basket. And we got a foul away from the bucket, and they're going to call it on Southern Utah.
John Marshall holding Hall on a back cut there. Hall made what's called a fill cut to get to the ball and immediately felt the pressure and back cut, and John Marshall just essentially reached out and held him.
All square 20 apiece near the midway point here in the first half. Harold Frey trying to create something off for Kleins. Kleins gets into the lane, has a push shot, missed it, gets his own rebound though, and puts it back up and in.
Kleins off to a quick start now with 9 points.
Again, his average is 6.4.
He had a good weekend last weekend, 13 and 12 though. So as I mentioned, a kid that was part of that lineup change by Coach Fisher, taking Quentin Everett out of the lineup and inserting Kleins. The Kleins from Saddleback Community College down in Southern California.
A lot of great college basketballs have come out of that, JC. Foul away on Montana State. That's the third team foul on Wusor. Nearly loses the handle. Fortunately for Southern Utah, they're able to hold on to it. John Marshall back into the ball game on Wusor. Double team, has to pass out to it. Marshall back to Onwusor. He gets into the lane. He'll try to create. Shot is blocked away and picked up by Montana State. Here comes Tyler Hall to Frey. Frey goes into the baseline, dishes off low. Ball is blocked, but a foul on the shot is going to send Zach Green to the free throw line.
Well, it's great ball movement and a great pass by Frey then to the cutter. Not only giving it to him at the right time, a bounce pass that bounced right up to his numbers, right where he can handle it.
Zach Green, who started all 31 games for Montana State this year. Young man from Gilbert, Arizona, 77% free throw shooter, makes the first one, he'll have one more. Pushes the lead back to 3 for Montana State. Lines up for one more. Remember, after every Big Sky Conference game here in the tournament, go to the Big Sky Facebook page where you can find the Facebook live streaming of all the post-game press conferences for both the winning team and the losing team. So if you need more Big Sky basketball fix, get to the Big Sky Conference Facebook page where they will Facebook live all of the post-game moments. 24-20 is the score, 4-point lead on Wusor. Dishes off, 3-point shot missed, and here comes Frey with a defensive rebound. Tyler Hall still looking for his first points, passes it off to Frey, but he picks up a foot and travels with the ball. Southern Utah will get the ball back.
There once again, Tyler Hall, I thought, had a chance to just catch that off the gallop and jump up and shoot it in, and chose to reverse the ball. If I'm Coach Brian Fish, I'm calling him over and saying, we need for you to score a little bit here, son. He's being ultra unselfish.
I remember watching a game with a Weber State game, and Damian Lillard was young in his career. They were playing at BYU, and Damian Lillard kept passing it off. And I remember Randy Ray pulling him aside and says, okay, time to get yours.
Yeah,
let's get
exactly.
it done.
That's kind of where I think Tyler Hall is right now. He's not even really looking for his shot.
On Wusor on the left wing, Southern Utah trailing by 4. Trying to create into the lane, push shot up and good. Good look.
Tough shot, that little teardrop runner there. I think that's one of the toughest shots in basketball.
John Marshall picked up by Sam Newman, trying to create something. Harold Frey over the left wing to Hall. Hall goes baseline, kicks it back cross court. Kleins is going to take a long 3-point shot and miss it, and an offensive rebound for Montana State.
Well, that was a terrific rebound by Zach Green, going a long way and up in a crowd, getting that. I've not quite figured out what Southern Utah is doing defensively. I think they're playing man-to-man on misses, and there we go. Tyler Hall getting going on makes. They're falling back into a matchup zone where the top of the zone is getting out and really keeping them from reversing the ball and getting it moved from side to side. Pretty good defensive game plan by Coach Todd Simon.
Onwuasor tries to answer the long Tyler Hall three. He misses the layup, but a putback opportunity, draws a foul, and Southern Utah will go to the free throw line when we come back. 27-22 our score. Montana State leading by 5. You're listening to Big Sky Basketball on WatchBigSky.com.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
To 22 is our score. Montana State leading Southern Utah with 7:58 left to go here in the first half. Onwuasor is trying to do his part. He's got 8 points for Southern Utah. Tyler Hall, coach, was held scoreless until hitting just a long three-point attempt to get himself on the board.
Well, Tyler Hall 1 for 3. As I said, that really has not looked for a shot. Onwuasor, on the other hand, 3 of 9. He's taken half of his team's shots. His team has shot 18 times, and Onwuasor with 9. Southern Utah shooting 50% right now, 9 for 18.
Braden Holker hit the first free throw. He'll have one more.
Another big, long freshman for SUU. As I said, they have some good-looking kids that need to get in the weight room this summer and just get bigger and stronger.
That one went off the front of the iron. Lead is now 4 for Montana State. Here comes Tyler Hall trying to create for himself. Instead, hands it off to Vizzolo. Into the lane for Montana State. Back to Hall, out top left wing. Long three-point shot, baseline missed, and brought down by number 5, John Marshall for Southern Utah. Marshall swinging it around, back, has it back again, kicks it back up top on the left wing with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. As Southern Utah trying to create something a little bit more offensively. James McGee back into the ball game for the Thunderbirds. McGee's got it. Has 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Onwuasor is going to have to create here. Pull up three from straight away, misses it. And a rebound for Montana State.
Really good possession, half-court defense there by Montana State.
Tyler Hall being guarded by Onwuasor. Let's see if he tries to go after him.
I like what Montana State does on their ball screen defense. They force the guy into the ball screen, making him take the ball screen as opposed to leaning into the ball screen and letting him have a chance to take you away from the ball screen. They've been pretty consistent with that.
Tyler Hall goes toe-to-toe with Onwuasor, unable to convert the turnaround jumper, and then a carried ball down here on the other end gives Montana State the ball back.
You know, I watched Tyler Hall as he kind of looks like he's trying to create a shot and then kind of requiesces to his teammate on the handoff. You get the feeling he can rise up and shoot it at any time. He's 6'5" with long arms. He's got a picturesque jump shot. I'm not too sure when he kind of puts it on the ground and creates a little bit, he doesn't need just to rise up and get a couple shots off.
Frey dishes down low, shot up and good. Nice assist. Buzzolo is able to lay it up and in with Frey giving him the assist.
I tell you, Frey leads this team in assists, and I can see why. He's got a terrific feel. He's really good at that little one-hand pass off the dribble. That's his second terrific bounce pass of this half.
McGee cranks a three, misses it. Tyler Hall with an impressive rebound for Montana State. Hall gets the screen, goes around, dumps it down, and Frey with a long three-point shot attempt is missed, and Marshall's got it going the other way. 29-23, 5:38 left to go here in the game. Onwuasor attacks the rim, gets it up, can't get it to fall. Falls down, wanted contact, but an offensive rebound for Southern Utah does lead to a shooting foul, and the Thunderbirds will get a couple free throws.
That was Frey's first miss from three. He'd been 2 for 2 before that. He plays with a lot of poise and confidence for a freshman.
Southern Utah in a bit of a drought. They've gone the last 2 minutes and 26 seconds without scoring in this game.
Well, they're in a drought for a reason. Montana State has really picked things up at the defensive end. As I said, their ball screen defense has been good. Southern Utah has not got a real clean look in about the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Will Joyce had a couple big moments early in this game, hits the free throw. He'll have one more.
Joyce had the first 6 points for his team. That's now his 7th point, a kid that only averages 3.3 points. As I said early in the game, he's kind of a dirty work guy. He's one of those guys that rebounds, defends, doesn't normally score a lot. He does lead his team in field goal attempts. He doesn't hunt or doesn't take a whole lot of shots.
Just airballed a free throw attempt. Seen a couple of those today. 29-24, 5:31 left to go here in the first half. Montana State leading by 5.
Now here's that little zone look. You see the way the top of the guy's getting on one side of the ball handler and trying to keep them from getting the ball reversed. I think, again, they're backing this on makes and dead balls and then man-to-man in transition.
Nice dish down low. Quentin Everett lays it up and in. And Montana State running this offense to perfection right now, getting good looks, and now lead by 7. John Marshall running the point for the Thunderbirds, trying to cut into this lead.
John Marshall has been around for quite a while. He's playing his 117th game tonight, a 4-year player for the Thunderbirds.
McGee with a long three, cuts the lead down to 4, 31-27. Good look, young man knocked it down.
Now this is just a straight 1-3-1. I thought it was a little bit more of a matchup look. It's just a 1-3-1 with a long guy, Will Joyce, playing out on the point, making ball reversals tough.
Frey's now missed 2 3-pointers in a row. Foul down low is going to go against Montana State.
Well, they've got to get that ball reversed just a little bit more against this 1-3-1. When you can't get a ball reversed at the top, then you got to go to a skip pass. They've got to get kind of 4 guys out on the perimeter, get that ball skipped back and forth. There's not a whole lot of different things you can do against a 1-3-1 other than get 4 guys out and split the wings.
John Marshall loses the handle, picked up there by Christian Musoko, and they're going to get an offensive foul on Southern Utah, and Montana State will regain possession.
I think that was on Musoko on the ball screen, and that may have been because James McGee left a little early off the dribble. It's tough to screen a moving target.
Quentin Everett hands off to Tyler Hall. Crosses the timeline for the Bobcats. Tyler Hall was your freshman of the year last year, and that award remains with Montana State as Frey won it this year.
And I think that was a real subtle move by Brian Fish there. He moved Tyler Hall at 6'5" out to the point. That guy trying to deny the ball reversal was not near as effective. Before that, it was Kleins at 6 foot. Now Tyler Hall's big enough to take the ball and get it in the gap and throw it over the defense.
3:35 left to go in the first half. Montana State leading Southern Utah 31-27, and an out-of-bounds moment here for Southern Utah is going to give that ball back to Montana State. 4-point lead for the Bobcats, 3:30 left to go here in the first half. It's Big Sky basketball right here on WatchBigSky.com.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student-athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
Montana State with a 4-point lead with 3:30 left to go here in the first half, Coach. This has been a fun battle between these two teams. Both of them throwing some haymakers here early in this first half.
Well, I'm amazed. All three games today have really been fun to watch. There are a lot of free-flowing basketball, very, very well-coached game. And SUU, even though they come in as the last seed, they're conceding nothing, only trailing by 4 right now.
James McGee of Southern Utah, by the way, just surpassed the 1,000 career point mark in his career. So congratulations to that young man who's been around that program for quite some time. And he's only a junior, too, so plan on him adding to that point total for a long time to come.
As I said, he led the team in scoring last year, and then the addition of Randy Onwuasor bumps him down to the second leading scorer, but he also leads the team in three-point percentage, so he's had a very, very productive career there for the Thunderbirds.
All right, Tyler Hall running things for this Montana State offense. Over to Vizzulo into the game. Back to Hall. Hall trying to create some offense. He's got a bit of a mismatch if he wants to get after it. He does attack the rim, gets a shot up, missed, but he does draw the foul. He'll get to the free throw line. Tyler Hall, an 84% free throw shooter.
I keep getting the feeling that he needs to just go one hard dribble and then pull up for a middle game jump shot. He's 6'5". The guy guarding him is giving up at least 5 inches to him. He's either looking for a long shot or trying to get it to the basket. I think if he kind of looks for that middle game shot, he might have some success.
Shot is up and in. He'll have one more.
Of course, I'm giving advice to a guy who has scored over 1,000 points. I think I scored about close to 100 in my college career. So I was the quickest guy to get to 100 that played on my street.
Well, Tyler Hall's got 4 points. That's 4 points more than I ever had in a Big Sky Conference tournament game. Now he's got 5. 33-27, 3:09 left to go here in the first half. Onwuasor got hot early with 8 points. He's been quiet over the last stretch. In fact, Southern Utah hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Onwuasor is going to try to end that. Into the lane, shot up and missed, but he goes to the free throw line. Tell you what, he attacks the rim with the incredible amount of, anger, it seems like.
I heard a new terminology last night. I had dinner with the associate head coach at Idaho and my former assistant coach at Weber State, Kirk Earlywine. He said he is a bully driver. He just
great way to put it.
Bullies you with that physicalness. If he looks like he should be a football player, there's a reason. That football runs in his family. His brother played at Portland State and is now with the Baltimore Ravens. It looks like this kid could just switch jerseys and be a defensive back for about anybody out there now.
He'd make a good defensive back, maybe a safety. I could see him punishing some poor slot receiver coming across the middle.
He's a big, strong kid.
33-29 after those 2 free throws are made. 2:49 left to go. Frey looking for an opportunity, has to dish it off to Kleins. Kleins waits, back to Frey. And you see Southern Utah really attacking with that zone.
Kleins could create a shot for Hall there by getting that ball up into the gap and then kicking it to Hall, or dribbling it away from him, in turn reversing it to him, or he could just jump up and make a 3 himself. So much for creating a shot for Hall.
Or knock it down. McGee's going to attempt a 3. He can't get that to fall. And here comes Montana State going the other way.
SUU needs to kind of stay in this now, still in the game, only down 7, but with 2 minutes to play, they can't let Montana State create a whole lot of separation going into the locker room.
Zach Green barrels into the lane and gets called for the offensive foul. And here comes Southern Utah that will inbound down by 7 with 2:06 left to go. Onwuasor slowly bringing it up down the court. Will Joyce into the game as well. Joyce on the left wing. Work it over to Marshall. Marshall's going to wait. Post up on Onwuasor, down on the low blocks. He's got a size advantage. Pushes the shot up. Can't get it to fall, though. Frey's got the rebound.
Montana State's done a pretty good job. Anytime he catches it on the low block, as big and strong as he is, they come double team that immediately.
Drive baseline. Swing it back over. Klein, three-point shot. Got it to fall.
What a terrific play by Sam Newman. You don't see many post players creating shots for perimeter guys by driving the lane and kicking it out there. A great draw and kick by the sophomore from St. Paul, Minnesota.
39-29, Montana State, its biggest lead of 10 with 1:26 left to go here in the first half. Hanging out here at the Reno Event Center, Scott Gerard and the coach, Joe Cravens. Southern Utah hasn't hit a field goal in the last 3 minutes and 53 seconds. But we see some interesting plays here from Montana State as they're getting everybody in there. Vizzola with a nice look. Southern Utah gets the dunk from Christian Musoko. And again, back and forth we go between these two teams.
Well, no, Harold Frey, you saw a great draw and kick by him, penetrating, kicking it to that little backdoor cut. Very seldom do you see a team center putting on the floor and attack the paint like Sam Newman just did in creating a perimeter shot for a guard. When I looked at this roster and saw Sam Newman, starting center from St. Paul, Minnesota, I thought of another great Montana State center that was from that same area, Nate Homestead, a much different player, 6'8", 255, that just caused matchup problems throughout the Big Sky about a decade ago for Montana State.
Onwuasor swings it over to McGee. McGee has had a couple of threes in this game, gives it back to Onwuasor. He's matched up there by Frey. Tries to attack, but instead gives it back to McGee. McGee into the lane, 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Got to get something up. Push-up shot by Marshall, misses everything. Rebound by Montana State.
I tell you, Montana State has really been on point this last 10 minutes in their half-court defense.
39-29. Scoring drought continues for Southern Utah. Frey working it over. Long three-point shot, missed by Hall, but an offensive rebound comes over to Frey. He'll take an NBA-length three-point shot and drop it from the right wing.
And give Zach Green the credit for that. That's his second outstanding offensive rebound, going way out of his area, going up in a crowd. And the best time to get a three-point shot attempt is off an offensive rebound. He got that rebound and immediately threw it out to Frey for a wide open three.
Marshall takes the three, missed. Montana State has the ball go out of bounds, and it'll go to Montana State. Quick 30-second timeout. Brian Fish wants to talk to his team about this one as they want to set up for the final possession. Already leading by 13 points and trying to push that lead out a little bit more.
Well, what a great job Brian Fish has done. We talked about that in the open. If they were to go on and win today, that stopped a 7-year, 7 straight losing seasons for the Bobcats. That would put them at 17 and 15 and guarantee them a winning season. The first time in 8 years, only his second year, Brian Fish has done a terrific job kind of resurrecting this Montana State program.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. It was built from the ground up, and then you get a little help as well. But Tyler Hall has been a big, big key player for this team. And then you get the freshman of the year. When you have back-to-back freshmen of the year, you know you got some good players for a long time.
That means you're doing something right. You're recruiting the right kids for your program. Of course, getting Tyler Hall from Rock Island, Illinois was a huge find or get for the Bobcats.
Klein's at the buzzer, can't get it to fall, and that's how the first half will end. 42-29. Montana State leading by 13, and they'll take that 13-point lead into the break, Coach. And again, it's kind of a situation where we saw with some previous games earlier in the day where eventually you just look at teams that have more depth, maybe a little bit more athleticism, and it's seeing that Montana State starting to separate themselves from Southern Utah.
Well, I just talked about what a great job Brian Fish does. It's in his second year. Todd Simon in his first year. He's taken over a program. There's a reason that a new guy takes over. They've been down for a while there. He got some good young players. I think both these guys in taking over programs that have been down are going in the right direction, but a lot of firepower for Montana State right now. The guards are playing lights out, and Zach Green doing a terrific job on the offensive glass.
Should be a fun second half between two of the leading scorers in the Big Sky Conference. Randy Onwuasor and Tyler Hall going toe-to-toe in the second half. Right now it's Tyler Hall's Montana State team leading by 13. We're at the break. 42-29 is our score. More second half action coming up next right here on WatchBigSky.com.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling. Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
halftime score, Montana State up on the Southern Utah Thunderbirds by 13 points. Scott Gerard alongside the coach Joe Cravens as we get ready for the second half of the final game of day number 1 here on the Big Sky Conference men's side. Day 2 tomorrow will be on the women's side as they'll play their quarterfinals. But Coach Cravens, a really fun game, and we expected to see a lot of fireworks between the top 2 scorers in the Big Sky Conference, Randy Onwuser as well as Tyler Hall. But so far, we haven't seen a lot of fireworks out of those two. Those two players are a combined 3 of 17 shooting in the first half.
Well, Tyler Hall really having problems getting going, but Montana State's built this lead with their defense. They have held Southern Utah to 37%, and they've got them doubled up on the glass, 25-12. So they've not been a picture of beauty or efficiency offensively, but they've been really, really good defensively and rebounding.
Let's take a look at some Montana State highlights from the Bobcats in their first half, as Montana State didn't get a lot from Tyler Hall, but boy, they sure got a lot from some other players, including, as you go down the list, you got Devontae Kleins with 17 points in the first half. He's just 2 away from a career high.
Well, Devontae Kleins got him off the snide pretty quick with great penetration, great finishes around the basket. He kind of carried them early on, 6 for 12 and 2 of 5 from the three-point line. He leads all scorers in the game.
Yeah, 15 points. I gave him 2 more than he should. But Harold Frey, also a young player, the freshman of the year, doing his part with 9 points in the first half.
9 points and a couple terrific passes that led to basket. He plays with a level of maturity and court awareness that is much beyond his years. He's a terrific freshman.
All right, let's shift gears, talk about Southern Utah and their first half of action, as Randy Onwuser unable to get a lot going, but did do some damage getting to the free throw line as well. So, you know, he's always attacking the rim. You call him a kind of what a bull in the china shop, just getting down there and finding a way to attack the rim and scoring some either buckets at the rim or at least getting to the free throw line.
Well, he's got 10 points, but only 3 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from the three-point line. He did get himself to the free throw line 3 times, but this is a guy that has shot about 270 free throws, so they've actually done a pretty good job of keeping him getting to the free throw line, you know, too many times. So again, Montana State has built this not by playing pretty, not by being real efficient offensively, but doing the hard things, defending, rebounding, playing great team defense at the half-court level.
All right, Coach, let's get some keys to the game. Let's start with Southern Utah. What are you telling that group over there to try to get back into this game?
Well, I think they've got to make a few more passes, make Montana State work a little bit harder at the half court. They kind of give in and take the first available shot. And Montana State, again, has done a great job of guarding them. Montana State, you just got to continue to guard the way you are. I'm a little bit worried about Tyler Hall. Only 11 at Weber State last Saturday and didn't shoot it very well. He needs to get going and kind of get in the flow offensively for the Bobcats.
Well, for the Bobcats, they've got a 13-point lead. Remember, this winner of this game will punch their ticket into the quarterfinals where they will take on Weber State. That game will tip off at 8:05 Pacific time coming up on Thursday. Montana State set to inbound here on this near sideline. And it'll be Zach Green that will inbound, swinging it over to Frey. Frey, who had a fun first half, 9 points. The freshman of the year that was announced just yesterday. Frey, left wing, shot up and can't get it to fall on the three-point attempt. And here comes Southern Utah. They're going to snag, I believe, Tyler Hall for kind of a ticky-tack foul for kind of reaching in there, trying to poke that ball away.
Tyler Hall, 1 of 5 that half, coming off a 2 for 11 game. So he's only 3 of his last 16 shots. Now, he's a kid that can run off a whole bunch of them in a row, but I think obviously for the good of the team and for this team's success in this tournament, he needs to kind of get going offensively.
And they may get him again. Nope, offensive. They're going to get John Marshall for crashing into the lane and getting him for an offensive foul.
Well, you're right. It looked like Tyler Hall could have got that on that wasn't really a reach in, kind of that swat at the field goal attempt. Been very impressed with Montana State's half-court defense tonight.
Frey dishing over to Kleins. Kleins, by the way, his next bucket will set a career high for him. He had 14 points in the first half.
So then Utah coming out in that 1-3-1 half-court zone defense on the first possession.
Three-point shot attempt missed by Montana State. Marshall over to McGee, and McGee trying to get into the lane, draws a foul. And that's already the second team foul for Montana State with under a minute played here in the first half. Marshall inbound under his own basket, gets it over to on Warser. On Wusor trying to get things going. Into the lane, draws the foul. Montana State now racking up fouls early on here in this game.
Well, Montana State got cross-matched there. They had three different guys try on Wusor during that possession. Ended up with Sam Newman on him. That's really a mismatch. Newman used to guarding post players, not a perimeter driver like on Wusor.
Block shot by Montana State. They go the other way, and Frey will back things out. Look over at his coach, get a few signals, and start things off with 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Frey gets a screen, turns the corner. They're going to call a foul on Southern Utah. And number 22 is going to get nabbed with that one, Ivan Medunic.
Medunic has got to develop those feet. Ball screen defense there. He just kind of came out and laid on the ball handler. He's got to get his backside down and start getting some lateral movement. Because if you can't guard a ball screen in this day and age, that's all that everyone's doing offensively.
Turnaround shot, Tyler Hall is up and good. Those are the first points here in the second half. Almost went the first 2 minutes of the game without seeing any action, but Tyler Hall is able to get his second bucket of the game on Wusor. Looking to drive, is picked up there by Kleins.
As I said in the first half, with his size and the way he has that high release point in his jump shot, you feel like he can get to that shot just about any time he wants to.
Marshall drives the lane, gets a shot blocked, but he's fouled. He'll get to the free throw line. 44-29, Montana State with a 15-point lead with 17:48 left to go here in the second half.
John Marshall is a tough kid. He's logged a lot of minutes down here for the Thunderbirds, playing his 117th game. Just plays his heart out, and he has every time he stepped on the floor for 4 years for the Thunderbirds.
Gets to the free throw line, lines it up. Shot is up and good. He'll have one more. Checking into the game for Southern Utah will be Jacob Calloway, as Ivan Medunic will take a seat. Jacob Calloway, another big player, 6'8", 190-pound freshman from Juneau, Alaska. Coach, and you mentioned you'd like to see him get in the weight room. Offensive rebound tipped up and in on the missed free throw attempt. Will Joyce. That's a really old-fashioned three-point play, Coach.
Joyce having a big night. This is the third time I said it. Always been kind of a dirty work player here, just getting things done with his hustle and toughness. He scored the first 3 baskets for his team. That's now his ninth point, I believe, his 4th field goal.
Frey over to Kleins, back to Frey. Frey trying to post up inside. He's going to kick it back to Kleins off of a drive. Kleins into the lane. He'll have to give it back to Frey. Tyler Hall, quick pass, down low. And the shot is up and a foul. And Montana State wants a flagrant. I like how Quentin Everett's the voice of reason over to the sideline, said, guys, stay there. We got this thing taken care of.
No,
don't worry about it.
I don't think there was anything flagrant about that. I think Newman got the guy up on a shot fake, and he came down hard on him. But there's another instance. Tyler Hall, so unselfish. He had his feet set, had a wide open 3, and dumped it down into Sam Newman here on the shot fake. Well,
that right arm came down, and then he pushed him to the ground afterwards.
Yeah, there may be something quite a bit extra there. That is at least a flagrant one.
Yeah, Will Joyce is probably, as you mentioned, bare minimum, that's probably going to be a flagrant one.
Yeah.
And when the officials look at the film and then go over to the coaches and say, we need to talk to you, that usually means that it's not good news.
No, that is not a good thing. Will Joyce a little over-exuberant there and trying to defend that shot fake by Sam Newman.
So it looks like it will be a flagrant 1, as we saw the official kind of lean over, put the number 1 up. And that will send Sam Newman to the free throw line. Newman, a 69% free throw shooter. Lines it up. I gotta imagine those are the hard free throws to shoot when you got nobody there. We'll have one more. You hear a pin drop in this arena right now. Second shot up and missed. Back iron on that one. And now Sam Newman and the Montana Bobcats will inbound underneath their own basket. 45-32, 13-point lead for the Bobcats. Tyler Hall has the ball stolen away. Pass intended for Hall. Marshall gets it. He'll lay it up and in.
Southern Utah did a great job of defending that out-of-bounds play. That was meant for Hall, who took it out coming off a double down screen. They switched out. Great job by their coaching staff scouting that and doing getting them prepared to defend that.
Three-point shot missed by Kleins. Here comes Southern Utah, and McGee quickly going the other way. Work it over to Marshall. He'll crank a 3, and he'll hit the 3. 5-0 run by Marshall all by himself. Has cut the lead down to single digits, 45-37, 8-point lead for the Bobcats. With 16:38 left to go here in the first half. Lots of time, obviously, in this one, as we're early in the second half. Tyler Hall dishes out, left wing, baseline, and a travel. Another turnover by the Bobcats, and now the momentum shifted over to the Southern Utah side of the court.
Well, Montana State having a little trouble attacking that 1-3-1. That now they've moved Jacob Calloway at 6'8" out to the point of that, and Montana State is scoring when they're getting stopped. Now remember, SUU has scored the last 2 trips down, so Montana State can't get the ball going in transition and having to attack that long 1-3-1 defense.
Will Joyce, the turnaround jumper from the baseline, cuts the lead down to 6.
Will Joyce is having a career tonight.
A 7-0 run by the Thunderbirds over the last minute. Frey tries to kill it. He doesn't, as he missed the shot. And here comes McGee going the other way for the Thunderbirds.
Great block out by McGee there. One of the hard things to do when you play any zone is get to a block out. And they did a great job of blocking out in that 1-3-1 zone.
Bray tried to drive, lost the handle, but Onwuasor steals away a Tyler Hall pass. Marshall into the lane once again as Southern Utah dishes off to McGee. McGee goes baseline. He's cut off there. Back up top to Frey. Frey fighting in. He's a hustler.
Frey is very good defensively. That's usually the last thing that falls into place as a freshman. Great lateral movement, maintains his stance, stays down in a defensive position. He's really good at both ends.
Straightaway 3 missed by Onwuasor, and Montana State regains possession. It's a fun point guard battle between Marshall and Frey going on. 2 number 5s getting after each other.
Well, SUU's mounted this comeback without Onwuasor scoring a basket.
Hall over to Everett. Everett to Frey, back to Everett. Takes a 3 from the left wing and buries it. And that 7-0 run comes to an end for Southern Utah with a big 3-pointer by Montana State. 48-39, 14:41 left to go here in the second half. Onwuasor.
Everett, their leading scorer off the bench, averaging just under 10 points at 9.8. That was a big basket for the Bobcats.
McGee misses a 3, but look who's there for the offensive rebound. It's Will Joyce, who lays it up and in and cuts the lead down to 7.
Like I said, Will Joyce is having a career tonight.
3-point shot, right wing, or right baseline, missed. An opportunity wasted by Montana State. Good look by Joe Vizzolo. Onwuasor over to McGee. Back to Marshall. Marshall will crank the 3 and rattles in. And boy, look at the smile on his face as he runs back down the court. That's a man that knows that he's on fire right now. And so is Southern Utah, down 4, 48-44. Frey over to Tyler Hall. Back to Frey. Down low. Right wing 3. Missed over the backboard as Sam Newman couldn't get that shot to fall for Montana State. And with 13:34 left to go in the ball game, Montana State at one point led by 15, now lead by 4, 48-44 on WatchBigSky.com.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
Montana State led big early on here in the second half, but that lead has been whittled away by Southern Utah as the Bobcats now just lead by 4, 48-44. 13:34 left to go here in the ball game. And Coach, this has been a fun one as these two teams have been going back and forth. Looked like Montana State was ready to run and hide, but here come the Thunderbirds reeling them back in.
Well, Montana State, the first half, held Southern Utah to 37%. This half, Southern Utah shooting 66%, 6 for 9. And not only is that problematic because they're scoring points, Montana State, after a made basket, has to come down and face that 1-3-1 half-court defense with a big guy out front, and they're having a little trouble generating offense against that.
McGee brings the ball down the court. Onwusor's got it on the right wing. Three-point shot attempt from the left wing, buried by Southern Utah, Jacob Calloway. Knocking down the three, and Montana State's only leading by 1. Tyler Hall. And this Montana State team needs to get out of a funk as Southern Utah on an 8-0 run and 15-2 overall. Southern Utah is going to get nabbed for a foul as Tyler Hall trying to get around the corner and blocked away by Jacob Calloway.
Jacob Calloway on that last pick and pop. He's had 168 shot attempts for the night. 90 of them are three-point attempts. He's a 34% shooter, so you just got to know you got to close out to him on the perimeter. And like I said, Montana State having all kinds of problems attacking this half-court 1-3-1.
And Tyler Hall just got nailed for a travel trying to crash into the lane. So here we go. Southern Utah, who has trailed big in this ball game, has a chance now to take the lead. And Randy Onwusor really has had very little to do with this big run.
Montana State 2 for 8, only shooting 25% this half. They've got to get their defense going so their offense can get going, create some transition baskets.
Onwusor looking for isolation, takes the long three, misses it. Might have been tipped away on that shot. Here comes Montana State up by 1, trying to force the issue. Tyler Hall gets into the lane, dishes out to Kleins. Kleins gets the ball ripped away from him, and they're going to call a foul on Onwusor.
Onwusor 3 for 14 now. I keep kind of harping on this. Montana State, when they get a stop, they come down and face man-to-man defense because Southern Utah's transition defense is a man-to-man. When they don't get a stop, when Southern Utah scores, they've got to come down and face that 1-3-1, and they're having all kinds of trouble attacking that 1-3-1.
Cross-court pass from Tyler Hall all the way to the other side of the court. Kleins into the lane, tries to get the shot up, can't do it, dishes it down low, shots blocked away, ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to go off Montana State. Southern Utah regains possession. And again, a chance to take the lead, down 48-47. Onwusor in Southern Utah. Coming in as the 11th seed. Only 5-26 on the season, giving Montana State a huge scare. And Southern Utah's Jacob Calloway draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line. We've got a timeout on the court. Montana State leading by 1, 48-47. More coming up next here on WatchBigSky.com.
My name is Parker Welbeck. I've spent the last 3 years traveling to over 15 different countries, capturing adrenaline-boosting moments, living my dream as a filmmaker. And it all started with the opportunities I was given at Southern Utah University. Within months of transferring to SUU, I was given access to film school events, travel with sports teams, and lead in campus groups, which all combined to give me the experience and confidence that I needed to launch my career as a filmmaker. I'm proof that SUU can take you everywhere.
Montana State leading by 1, 48-47. Southern Utah will be making a trip to the free throw line for a chance to take this lead, as Jacob Calloway is going to step up to the line here when we come back, Coach. Tell you what, though, we've been in for quite a battle between these two teams, and Southern Utah is not about to go away.
Well, Montana State has only mustered 2 field goals this half, and it's as simple as this. I don't think we have to overanalyze too much. Montana State shooting 22% this half. Southern Utah, on the other hand, 63%.
That'll do it.
Most times that'll do it.
Jacob Calloway, first free throw, up and good. Will Joyce now has a career high 13 points, and he's perfect shooting, by the way. 6 for 6 from the field. Tie ball game for now, and now Southern Utah leads 49-48. A 10-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. Montana State has not scored in nearly 3 minutes of play. Bobcats trying to create anything offensively into the lane. A foul is drawn, and Montana State will go to the free throw line.
And I think that's the first time Montana State has really spread. Again, about the only thing you can do against the 1-3-1 is attack it with 4 perimeter players. And I thought that's the first time Montana State has really kind of spread the court and got the ball X'd out of the corner. They catch it off that diagonal pass, and Kleins then put his head down and drove that gap and got to the basket with it.
Devontae Kleins makes the first free throw, and he misses the second one. And here comes Randy Awusor going the other way. 49-49, 11:30 left to go. Final game in the first round of the men's basketball tournament here in the Big Sky Conference.
As we've mentioned, Southern Utah has battled back and taken the lead, or at least tied it up now without much help from their leading scorer, Awusor.
Awusor has the ball ripped away from him. Montana State quickly going the other way. Coast to coast, a blocking foul. Bails out Zach Green as he was out of control, but he's going to be able to go to the free throw line. As you could tell, he was already losing his footing on his way to the basket.
I think he slipped, but I like the way he led with that shoulder without really causing an offensive foul and got himself to the free throw line. And that's what I said Montana State needs to do, is get their defense going to create some offense. And Zach Green got a steal there, drove the length of the court, and now has a chance to put a couple points on the board.
17th foul for Southern Utah, which means Montana State from here on out will be shooting at least one-on-one, 1-and-1. Missed free throw from Green. He'll get one more.
His first miss from the free throw line. He was 2 for 2 before that.
Second shot up and in. Gives Montana State the lead back, 50-49. See what Awusor's got up his sleeve. Kept relatively in check in this ball game. 3 of 14 shooting. He's got 10 points. Foul away from the bucket. That'll be the 16th foul for Montana State.
Foul on Frey there guarding the ball. I thought he showed great lateral quickness there, but the official thought there was too much body. I thought that was outstanding individual defense.
Awusor holding and waiting. 10:53 left to go here in the game. To McGee on the right wing. McGee picks up a screen, shoots a 3, and drills it from the outside. Holy smokes. McGee's a 42% three-point shooter, and he's been on fire today. Montana State quickly down, loses the handle on a shot. And here comes McGee going the other way. Left wing 3 for Southern Utah. That one goes back iron, goes out of bounds, and will go to Montana State.
Well, they caught a break there because Jacob Calloway, a 34% three-point shooter, he had a wide open look there. That would have been a huge momentum gainer, putting the Thunderbirds up by 5.
Yeah, Will Joyce is actually going to get called for a foul down low, and because they're in the bonus, Montana State is going to shoot a 1-and-1 here. Devin Kirby, who's only 47% from the free throw line, is going to try to earn himself an extra free throw. Shot is up, and I think we got ourselves a lane violation. And they're going to nail Will Joyce for that as well, so they're going to give Kirby an extra free throw attempt. Watch this motion, Coach. You'll like this one. Shot is up and gets it.
That looked pretty good. Held his follow through. I kind of like that.
6'10", 195. Freshman from Chandler, Arizona. He'll have one more. Shot is up. Hey, he's 2 for 2. Knocking him down, big fella. Ties the ball game up at 52 apiece. Not bad for a 47% free throw shooter.
Well, that kind of puts Montana State over the hump now in the free throw game. Coaches call it a game within the game. They're 9-0 when they've shot more free throws than their opponents. Neither team has gotten to the line a whole bunch tonight.
On Wusor, right wing, three-point shot buried as he dished it off to Jacob Calloway, and Calloway hits the big three to put Southern Utah back up by 3. Long shot for Tyler Hall. He gets it to fall. And could this be a moment where Hall says, I need to take this game over?
You know, he caught that right in rhythm and got right to his shot. That's the Tyler Hall I'm used to seeing. And you're right, there comes a point where he needs to kind of take it upon himself to get to his shot and kind of carry this team on his back a little bit offensively.
On Wusor, getting into the lane. He's been relatively quiet. He misses the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line. 55-55, tie score with 9:45 left to go here in the ball game.
Well, and Wusor's the guy that got the ball to Jacob Calloway for that three-point shot. The possession before this, you almost get the feeling he's kind of relegated himself to run the team and become kind of, instead of the scoring guard, more the consummate point guard and kind of dish the ball and kind of orchestrate the offense a little bit.
He's got 3 assists in this ball game, just missed that free throw attempt. He does have 10 points on the game. If he's able to hit this one, that'll push him up to 11. Leading scorer in this ball game is Kleins, who's got 16. Leading scorer for Southern Utah is Joyce, who's got 13. Southern Utah, with that made free throw, pushes the lead back up to 1. Bray back out onto the court. Thinks about a 3, gets into the lane, works it back to the outside. Nice give and go, up and in. Zach Green knocks down the layup. Nice drive.
Zach Green's a tough kid, 6'5", 200 pounds. He's very explosive getting to the basket. He's a great finisher. He's actually a power forward in this league in terms of matchup. 6'4", the smallest power forward probably in the league. Very, very effective with playing his undersized position to his advantage.
Madunic with a shot, wanted the foul, didn't get it. Ball was airballed, and so Montana State's got the ball with a chance to take the lead. Tyler Hall misses the shot. Montana State's up 57-56. Southern Utah sees Marshall go coast to coast. He can't finish at the rim, as the ref's letting him play here on the last couple possessions. Kleins loses the handle. They're going to say he was fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. And this is a scary moment here for Southern Utah, because I think Montana State's starting to flex things a little bit, and they want to run away and hide and go on a run.
Well, they've gotten 3 straight stops, and they've been able to get the transition game going a little bit. They haven't scored all 3 times. I would have liked to seen Kleins reverse the ball then, as opposed to bring it down and attack on that first side. Of course, he got himself to the free throw line, but I didn't think the spacing was very good there for a team that kind of plays off spreading the floor and spacing it a little bit.
One more free throw attempt here for Kleins.
I think, again, this 1-3-1 has really got them kind of discombobulated, and they have their spacing hasn't been great. They have not done a great job of attacking that 1-3-1, and now it's kind of shown how they're attacking the man-to-man. I didn't like that last transition possession.
New career high for Clines. He's got 18 points. Not bad for a guy who averaged 6.4 going into this game.
He's kind of carried him. Tyler Hall having another kind of subpar night.
Onwuasor with a drive in the paint, pulled up, hit it from about 8 feet out, gives Southern Utah a chance to cut this lead down to 1, 59-58. The Bobcats still leading by 1. Tyler Hall's got a good look for a 3 and buries it. That's a smooth stroke, Coach.
He's got a great release. He's got great footwork. He rhythms into that. When that ball hits his hands, his feet are set, his butt's down. He's ready to rhythm right into that shot.
62-58, Montana State with a 4-point lead, looking to get into the next round. 7:48 left to go in the ball game. McGee finds Onwuasor. Let's see if he can get a shot up. Has the ball deflected. Hall's got it. Hall dives for the ball. He reaches up, lays it up and in.
Great play by Hall. Great anticipation. But it started before that. They came and double teamed on Onwuasor on that low block catch. And then Hall really alert and kind of zoned off that weak side. Got his hand on that and great hustle play, chasing that down to that layup.
What a great play. A back-to-back five-point run by Tyler Hall all by himself. Montana State up by 6, 64-58 on WatchBigSky.com.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
64-58, 7:29 left to go in this one as the Montana State Bobcats trying to pull away here. Let's see if Southern Utah's got one more run left in them as we are getting down to crunch time in this one. This has been a fun day of basketball, Coach.
It
a lot
really
of good
has.
games.
I tell you, last year, the first day of the tournament, the games just weren't very good, I didn't think. Every game, or all 3 games, have been terrific here this year. No one wanting to go home, as we said. Everyone playing things out. I can't believe they're paying us to do that.
Well, not well.
Well, not well, but, you know, we got the best seat in the house. Tyler Hall now with 10 second half points and kind of asserting himself a little bit. That last play doing something hard to get something easy.
Marshall picked up by Hall, who you can tell has really ramped up the intensity here.
Defensively, you're right, that has really picked up, hasn't it?
McGee on the right wing, long 3-point shot attempt and buries it. Holy smokes, well beyond NBA range. 64-61, cuts that lead in half. Southern Utah desperately needed that shot, and McGee got it to fall.
Well, McGee shoots 42% from there. You just don't expect him to shoot it that deep.
Didn't anticipate him hitting a shot from Elko. Montana State working around the horn. 9 seconds left. Hall into the lane. Dish underneath. Shot. He's got to get up. 4 seconds left. Clines shoots a 3. Can't get it to fall. Offensive rebound ripped away by Southern Utah. Marshall over to McGee. Another 3. Contact. No foul. Southern Utah wants one. They're not going to get it, but they do get the offensive board.
Well, that's twice. I thought James McGee has been fouled on a 3-point shoot.
Onwuasor into the lane, fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Timeout on the court, 64-61, 6:16 left to go here in the ball game. Montana State holding on to a 3-point lead as this one just keeps going back and forth. And again, you keep seeing big shot after big shot from both teams. And Southern Utah is able to hold on by 3 early on, but Southern Utah is coming for them pretty good.
Well, getting down the stretch run here, and this is where your stars have got to be stars, but right now Montana State clinging to a 3-point lead.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds, so guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
We know we don't look
like most nurses you've met.
But when as a single mom, I needed to ensure a secure future for my son.
And I wanted to save lives.
We enrolled in the Montana State University College of Nursing's Caring for Our Own program.
At MSU, we received training that allows us to return home to treat our people. At Montana State University, we learn to heal and strengthen our communities.
64-61, Montana State with a 3-point lead. Coach, we got a record-setting night, and we still have 6:16 left to go, but this has already been the most 3-point shot attempts in a Big Sky Conference game with 53 3-point shot attempts in this game. And again, setting a record, and we still have six minutes left in this thing.
29 by Montana State, 24 by Southern Utah. They've been letting it fly pretty free and easy.
Onwuasor misses the free throw. Fight for the loose ball, and they're going to give it to Montana State with a timeout on the court. And I know you're old, you're an old-fashioned guy. You want to see guys diving for loose balls, and boy, did you see it there.
Well, they did, and Klein very alertly calling the timeout. And a lot of times that works against you if you only have 1 or 2 timeouts left. Brian Fish very smartly hoarding his timeout, 3 left. He has 2 left now. He retained that possession because of that, and 2 timeouts left in the last 6 minutes here. In fact, both teams have 2 timeouts left.
64-61, Montana State clinging to a 3-point lead over Southern Utah, who is not going away. Onwuasor with a golden opportunity missed, though, unable to convert the first end of a 1-and-1. And so Montana State's got the ball underneath the basket, and Tyler Hall will bring this thing down the court.
Southern Utah 57% in the second half, 54%, 6 of 11 from the 3-point line.
Cross-court pass. Montana State leading by 3. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Here comes Hall trying to create something offensively. Pull-up 3-point shot. Can't get it to fall. And here comes Southern Utah with a rebound with Marshall going the other way.
Southern Utah has done a great job of mixing their defenses. I'm not sure if that was man or a 2-3 zone there, but they've gotten out of their 1-3-1 and kind of given Montana State a different look now.
McGee into the lane, can't get the shot to fall, but Onwuasor is there to tip it up and in. Cutting the lead to 1, 64-63, 5-0 run by Southern Utah.
Back in their 1-3-1, like I said, the Bobcats just having a whole lot of problem getting any kind of rhythm against this.
Frey, back over to Kleins. Kleins holding right wing 3, shot up, can't get it to fall once again. Good rebound, or good box out, I thought, by Marshall, but they're gonna get him with the foul.
I think just a little bit overly aggressive. I think if he just held his block out, it'd been fine, but he started backing up and really pushing the guy out. And God, you hate to see a foul called on that because that was such an effort play by the little guy.
You know, Marshall's 6 foot. Kleins is, Kleins is 6 foot as well.
And that was a huge break for the Bobcats. Instead of missing a shot and SUU getting another possession, they get to go to the free throw line. They've not been able to cash in.
And Zach Green misses the free throw. He'll have one more coming up. 64-63, 1-point game here for Montana State. Devin Kirby, who hasn't been used much this year, is going to get some key moments here for Montana State.
Devin Kirby, a long 6'10" freshman.
Both free throws missed by Montana State.
when Montana State is doing everything they can to keep Southern Utah in this game, missing free throws, not cashing in on quality possessions at the offensive end.
Onwuasor goes base, gets the shot up. It falls, and he's fouled. And he'll have another free throw.
And in the last 5 minutes, your stars have got to be stars. Onwuasor just took that and horsed it in there. A great baseline drive, great strength, and a great finish.
65-64. He's got a free throw to try to push this to a 2-point lead. Shot is up and drops. And Southern Utah leading by 2 late. 4:42 left to go in this one. Tyler Hall, the Frey. Frey can't get anything, so he hands back over to Hall on the left wing. Back to Frey. Frey into the lane. Pass is stolen away by Southern Utah, and they'll call a timeout. Smart move by Jacob Calloway, knowing he was about to get tied up, and got the timeout in.
Well, this 1-3-1 has taken Frey completely out of the game. Credit SUU on a great hustle play. I'm not sure who got it on the floor, but someone went headlong on that. This is that great finish by Onwuasor on the other possession. But SUU doing everything they can to stay in this game, picking up loose balls, and really doing a great job of keeping Montana State off a rhythm.
I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling. Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
4:28 left to go, and we got ourselves a great one, folks. Southern Utah leading Montana State 66-64.
Right before we went to break, I said this 1-3-1 had taken the freshman of the year, Harold Frey, out of the game. He had 9 points at halftime. He has 9 right now.
So Southern Utah with the lead and the ball after the turnover. And here comes Marshall crossing the timeline. He'll be picked up by Tyler Hall. Hall trying to reach in, trying to create something on Onwuasor for Southern Utah on the right wing. Into the lane, dump it down. Can't get the handle on it. They got to back things back out. Marshall, with 10 seconds left on the shot clock, kicks it out. 3-point shot up and good. And Southern Utah smelling blood in the water, leading by 5. Jacob Calloway with a straightaway 3. Montana State feeling the pressure now. Frey works it over to Hall. 3:55 left to go. Frey cranks a 3, gets it to go. Now he's off that 9-point schneid.
How about Jacob Calloway for SUU? 3 of 5 from the 3-point line, 11 points now. He's carried a big offensive load this second half.
Weber State's just sitting back watching these two guys go at it. They'll play the winner of this game. Baseline shot missed, and a big rebound brought down by Montana State. Calloway got in there trying to force the tie-up, and they're actually going to get him with the foul.
And Todd Simon immediately pointing to his head that what a freshman mistake that was.
Yeah.
Sending Montana State to the free throw line, getting a foul 90 feet from the basket.
A 5-point lead by Southern Utah just moments ago. Frey hit a 3, and now Zach Green has a chance to tie this ball game up. Shot off the front of the iron. This guy's a 77% free throw shooter. He's missed his last 3.
He's missed his last 3, 0 for 2 in that possession before. Montana State, if they are not able to come back and get this one, can point right to the free throw line here in the second half, and that'll have a lot to do with what happened.
Montana State shooting 67% from the free throw line. They do get that one to go. Down by one, 69-68. On to Usor, crossing the timeline. Over to Callaway. On Usor, calls for it and gets it. He's baseline, looking to create. Dribble between his legs, now posting up. Shot, push shot, missed. Montana State with the rebound. Ripped away by Onwusor. He lays it up and in.
Wow, what a powerful move there individually. He just took the ball from Sam Newman, I think, and laid it back in.
71-68. The Thunderbirds with a 3-point lead, trying to shock the Big Sky Conference tournament. Frey gets the 3-point shot to rattle in. Somebody's living right.
You talk about a shooter's roll. That hit every part of the rim before it went down.
2:35. We're all square up at 71 apiece. Onwusor on the right wing gets a screen from Callaway.
Harold Frey, the freshman of the year, not playing like a freshman. Back-to-back 3-point shots after not scoring at all this half.
Onwusor puts up a shot, missed badly. Montana State's going to go to the free throw line. Callaway once again gets dinged with a foul.
Callaway, you hate to take that aggression away from him. That's twice in a row. He's fouled on rebounds that were secure, 90 feet from the basket.
And it actually cost him the game, or it cost his place in the game. He fouled out on that foul.
And it sends the same guy back to the free throw line that was there a while ago. Zach Green, only one of his last 4 free throws.
Zach Green lines it up, 71 apiece, 2:19 left to go. And Montana State has a chance to take the lead back. Currently on a 5-0 run, make it a 6-0 run, making the first free throw.
So I tell you what happens right now, Scott, is Southern Utah has won so few games this year. They're not sure they're capable of winning this game. You know, you have to learn how to win, certainly in close games. Montana State has won some close games, and right now SUU just hasn't learned to win yet. I'm not saying they're not going to win. I'm saying that normally goes along with having the type of year that they've had.
Onwusor into the paint, shot up, missed, but he'll go to the free throw line for a chance to tie this up. 73-71.
Well, Onwusor just put his head down and just bullied his way to the basket. We've got 2 teams here trying to win. It's SUU trying to win their first tournament game ever. Montana State has not won once since 2009, where they won against Weber State.
First shot up and good for Onwusor. He'll have one more for the Thunderbirds. Second shot up and rattles in. 73 apiece, 2:03. Plenty of drama here in Reno. Who needs blackjack when you can hang out with us? Frey on the left wing. Ball stolen away by Southern Utah. Here comes Onwusor on the steal. Ball nearly ripped away by Frey. Cross-court pass to Marshall. Back to McGee. Can he hit another one? Can't get it to fall. But an offensive rebound and a putback. Missed. Onwusor with another offensive rebound. He won't miss that. It's up and in, but where's the foul call? So many people are lying down on the court. Oh, the humanity.
And Onwusor, just basically the tallest hog at the trough in terms of physical strength. His last 2 baskets, he has just outmanned everyone on the court. What a specimen.
An and one opportunity. Onwusor with an offensive rebound and an and one. Makes the free throw. He'll put him up 3.
He has not had a great game in terms of shooting it and being pretty offensively, but his last 2 baskets, Scott, have just been willing it in physically.
76-73. 3-point shot by Hall. Missed off the top of the iron. Hall's going to be able to run down that rebound. Back to Frey. To Kleins. Back to Frey. 3-point shot by Hall. That one buried. What a game. Back and forth we go. 76 apiece.
Now you got the 2 stars being stars there, trading baskets with Onwusor and Hall, and that's the way it's supposed to be down the stretch.
Stars on parade here in Reno.
All deuced up at 76.
Marshall, right wing. Onwusor posting up. Cuts under a double team. Loses the handle on a pass. Here comes Hall. Game's tied up at 76 apiece. Montana State wants a timeout to think about this one. 48 seconds left to go, Coach.
Now, I both like and dislike that timeout by Brian Fish. I like it. I like it because his team has never been in this situation in the conference tournament, but now that gives Southern Utah a chance to set their 1-3-1 defense. Before, they were in the man-to-man because that's their transition defense. So now, instead of attacking the man-to-man, they're going to be attacking that 1-3-1.
You know, Coach, you're looking at an opportunity with 48 seconds left. You know, with 17 seconds, you know, with about 18 seconds, do you want to go a 2-for-1 here? Do you want to get a shot up in the next 15 seconds?
No, I don't think college teams do that well. And I think that's something you have to practice. I think that's something you have to have the mindset for. That's strictly an NBA deal. I don't know very many college teams that, you know, again, they feel comfortable with that. So you're asking your team to do something you don't normally do. Right now, with 24 seconds left on the shot clock, I try to get the best shot available.
So here we go. Montana State set to inbound, 76 all.
Now, excuse me, I guessed wrong. My SUU coming out in their man-to-man. I'm really surprised they didn't come out in that 1-3-1.
Frey tries to turn the corner into the lane. Over to Kleins. Kleins outside the three-point line. He gets into the lane, good position, and lays it up and in, giving the Bobcats a 2-point lead with 33 seconds left to go.
Boy, he's had a terrific game. Kleins, that was a great finish, kind of a little reverse off a crossover and a hesitation dribble.
On Rusor, top of the key, picked up by Kleins. Dribble penetration, in, shot up, can't get it to fall. Montana State's got the rebound. Fight for the board. Are they going to go jump ball? Yes. And possession will stay with Southern Utah.
Well, Montana State just clearing that rebound away from getting to the free throw line and having a chance to seal this one. Now SUU has another opportunity.
Southern Utah takes a quick timeout. They're going to talk about this thing. 78-76, Coach, with 14 seconds left. All right, so
SUU's last timeout. If you're Montana State now, you exhort your team, play your best defense, keep your feet on a shot fake, get to your block out, only give them one contested shot. Along with that, how are you going to play your ball screen defense? Are you going to double that, or are you going to hard show it, but only give them one shot? Get to your block out. If they tie it up, you take the ball and get it down to the other end as quick as you can. If you don't have a shot, you call a timeout. Montana State has one timeout, and then you run a sideline out of bounds play.
That's why he's the coach, folks.
And I'm undefeated on TV, too.
That's why he gets the big bucks right there.
Undefeated. I never miss coach over here, I tell you.
78-76, a lot of drama here. This has been an incredible way to kick off day number 1 on the men's side. Remember, tomorrow will be day 2 of the women's, the 4 games, the 4 quarterfinal games, and then Coach and I will be back here on Thursday for the quarterfinals on the men's, and if they're anything like this game, we're in for quite a doozy.
We'll be back here all day Thursday, too.
Yep.
4 games.
All right, 14 seconds left. Montana State clinging to a 2-point lead over Southern Utah. Southern Utah only 5-26 on the season, but a 6th win today would cause all kinds of problems for the Bobcats.
Now watch McGee coming in to get the ball back. Usually when a shooter takes it out, he's going to come back and get it, which is exactly what they did.
McGee contested 3, but he's fouled.
Oh, my.
All right, McGee is going to step to the free throw line for 3 free throws. He's a 73% free throw shooter, and he's going to go to the line for a chance to put Southern Utah up by 1.
The cardinal sin in playing defense is fouling a jump shooter, and the cardinal sin times 2 is fouling a 3-point shooter.
Missed the first one. Off the back iron, 6'2", 185-pound junior. Again, a 73% free throw shooter, but is unlikely to have free throws mean this much. Buries the second one.
Now remember, Montana State with 1 timeout left. Look for them to take the ball down to about free throw line extended, call a timeout, and run a sideline out of bounds play if this score's tied.
Bury the 3rd. So here we go. 9 seconds left. Tyler Hall with the ball. Montana State looks like they're going to roll with it. 4 seconds left. 3 seconds left. Straightaway 3 up. Back iron, no good. And we're going to overtime. 78-78. Montana State and Southern Utah. Tyler Hall tried to win it, back ironed it out, and Coach, the hits just keep on coming.
Such a fine line between winning and losing. Remember, Montana State had to rebound up to, they were going to get fouled. Southern Utah comes in, ties them up. Now we're going to overtime. What a great game. 78-78.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
We begin overtime. The first game of the conference tournament yesterday went overtime with Weber State women's team getting an overtime victory. Now day one of the men's side has an overtime battle as well. Montana State, Southern Utah, all square at 78 apiece. It's free basketball here at the Big Sky Conference tournament.
And it's amazing, Scott, just when we didn't think the games could get much better, the third one goes overtime.
On Usor for Southern Utah, who's got 25 points on the night and had some big key buckets late to keep Southern Utah in this ball game.
SUU came out with a little nice set there to try to get a three-point look for McGee.
Shot up and good for Onwuasor, who gets into the lane and floats up a bucket to give the Thunderbirds a 2-point lead.
Onwuasor now with 27 points on 9 of 24 shooting, but he is kind of taken over late here.
Tyler Hall tries to answer, and he does. And with that three-point shot, we have set a record for the most three-point makes in a game in Big Sky Conference tournament history. Onwuasor answers back with a layup to give Southern Utah the lead back at 82-81.
I tell you, as soon as Onwuasor gets his back to the basket, starts backing guys down, Montana State's got to come double that. He's just physically imposing. There's not a perimeter guy on Montana State's team that can stay with him physically.
Gray attacks the bucket. He gets into the lane, and he lays it up and in. 83-82, Montana State up by 1. McGee waits for a cutter, finally has to hand it off, gets it back, goes around the corner, dishes it back, three-point straightaway shot, hit. Who knew Iman Madunic could drill a three? But he knocks it down.
I tell you, they've gotten 6 points out of that play on just that screen and space away.
Tyler Hall misses a three. Offensive rebound, though. Another three-point shot attempt. This is by Kleins, and he knocks it down. And back and forth we go. 86-85. Montana State with a 1-point lead.
And you heard me say earlier in the game, the best time to get a wide-open three-point shot is off. Now, they got to come double-team that there.
Ball tipped away. Turnover, Montana State going the other way. Layup missed. Southern Utah with the rebound. And a foul on Kleins as he knocked down Marshall. Marshall's banged up a little bit. I'm sure he'll walk this off, though. Pull up that knee sleeve. You'll be okay, young man. Get to the free throw line.
Marshall going to the free throw line to shoot 2. Marshall, a 78% free throw shooter, 90 for 115.
young man who's played a lot of games there at Southern Utah. They've never won a game in the Big Sky Conference tournament. A guy who spent all 4 years at Southern Utah, you'd love to see him rewarded with some success in this tournament. Ties the ball game up at 86 apiece. He's got one more. Second shot up and rattles in. Southern Utah's got the lead, 87-86. Frey picked up at midcourt by McGee.
Remember, Montana State a 13-point halftime lead.
Klein's three-point shot attempt rattles out, pulled down, and here comes Southern Utah with a 1-point lead and the ball on Wusor. Into the lane, layup, has it blocked away. Kleins blocks it, and here comes Tyler Hall. We'll see if he answers, gets to the rim. It's blocked, but he's also fouled. Marshall earns that penalty, and it'll send Hall to the free throw line for a couple free throws to give Montana State if he can make him a 1-point lead.
I like that for Hall. He was a little bit out of control, but very assertive there. I think he's not been as that assertive this whole game. He's kind of hung around the perimeter looking for his three-point shot. That's the first time I thought he's really put his head down and gotten to the basket with him.
Hall shoots his first free throw, makes it. He is an 84% free throw shooter. Started every game for the team this year. First team Big Sky. He's got one more. Up and drilled it.
His 20th point.
Montana State back up by one. It's a back and forth battle in overtime here at the Big Sky Conference Tournament. Marshall picked up by Hall. Trying to post up on Wusor. He has to come out to get it. Up against Kleins, into the lane, shot up, no basket, but they are going to call a blocking foul, and it'll allow on Wusor to get back to the free throw line to see if Southern Utah can climb back up on top.
Well, they ran a little cross screen for on Wusor there, and I thought Montana State did a nice job of coming to double team, and again, on Wusor so imposing physically down there. Zach Green came over to double team that, and on Wusor just took it to him.
First free throw is up and good. Keep in mind, we got some people with some foul trouble here from Montana State. Green's got 4, Fry's got 4, Kleins has got 4, Everett's got 4. Second shot up and good for on Wusor. 89-88, Southern Utah up by 1.
Southern Utah at 5-26. If they could get a win here, this would, make a tough, miserable season. Leave a good taste in their mouth.
All right, Hall draws the foul. So you're seeing the stars of these two respective teams going to the free throw line. Hall made 2 on the previous possession. On Wusor made 2, and now Hall's back to the free throw line for a couple more.
Well, like I said, now you're seeing Hall be aggressive and much more assertive. I thought the whole game he's almost requiesced to his teammates. Needed to be a little bit more involved offensively.
By the way, with that foul, Marshall has fouled out of this ball game. Nobody's come to claim him yet. According to the scorecard, that's 5. Well, Stats A has 5. He's staying in the game.
Oh, what the heck, just let him play
I've
on.
always been a big fan of going to 6 fouls in college. Why not now?
Really trying to get it to on Wusor off of that double low screen, and he takes it and just...
3-point shot missed. Battle for the offensive rebound, controlled by Montana State. They've got the ball and a 1-point lead.
Tied up.
Oh, tied up, excuse me, 89 apiece.
Easy to lose track of things
no
now
doubt.
in the heat of the moment here.
1:17 left to go. Tyler Hall, one-on-one, pull-up shot, just inside the 3-point line, missed it, and McGee pulls down the board. On Wusor, takes a look at the clock. Crosses the timeline. Picked up by Kleins. The 1-minute mark. McGee, who had a couple big threes late in the second half, looks to get into the lane, does so. Shot is blocked. And they're going to call a
offensive foul. I thought that was a good call. I thought he was outside the circle. I thought he really attacked penetration well there. That's a big defensive play. Both teams win it. Look at Hall. He got his mouth wide open. He looks tired. Except on Louisor, I tell you, he's a specimen. He looks like he could play another game.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
All right, Fry working back over to Green. Green on the left wing. Rolling the screen for Fry. They go back door to Hall. Hall puts it up and in. Nice play set up by Montana State to get Hall a good look at the bucket.
Terrific. Took that ball. It looked like they were going to go a double staggered on the opposite side for Frey and isolated Hall for a back door on the other side.
Onwuasor gets into the lane, draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line. 23 seconds left. And by the way, they moved Marshall from 5 fouls to 4. That's why he's staying in this ball game.
I'm telling you what, Onwuasor is just a horse. Yeah, you ought to be able to take a baseball bat and help you guard him. He is just, like I say, physically imposing.
Onwuasor 10 of 13 from the free throw line, but 2 big ones here. First one is up and good. 91-90. One more free throw to go.
And if he hits this, Montana State can take it down and take the last shot of the game with the score tied.
Second one rattles in. And here we go. Tyler Hall, who had an opportunity to end the game earlier, missed a three-point shot at the end of regulation. Let's see if Montana State can close this thing out. 14 seconds left to go. Kleins hands off, tries to hands off, but they're going to get Onwuasor for a foul.
There's 9 seconds left. Onwuasor stuck the hand in the cookie jar there. Boy, you talk about letting them off the hook there. Now sending Kleins to the free throw line.
Let's take a look at Kleins from the free throw line. Not a particularly great free throw shooter statistically. 59% on the season. And today he is 4 for 5 though. So he's hit him today, but on the season it hasn't been great. First free throw up and good. He's got one more.
Now down 2. If he hits this, Southern Utah gets the last shot.
9 seconds left. Kleins lines it up, shoots, rattles home.
Big free throws, obviously.
Here we go. Onwuasor crosses the timeline. Southern Utah's down by 2. They'll call a timeout to set it up. They'll have 6 seconds left coming out of that timeout to figure out what they're going to run here. All right, Coach, you laid it out for us last time. Let's do it again.
Well, first, if you're Montana State, you take a guy off the ball, you put him on a 45-degree angle at the basket. That way they get nothing at the basket. Now, as soon as the ball is inbounded, he's got to close back to that guy so they can't throw it right back to him and him get to a shot. You face guard Onwuasor, you sell out to try to keep it out of his hands. You maybe even double team him with the guy who's taking the ball out of bounds. Depends on who's taking the ball out of bounds. If a non-shooter takes it out of bounds, you might come double team Onwuasor, and then you got to block out. More games are won or tied on that tip in at the buzzer than with the shot. So again, you're imploring your team to block out, only give them one shot here.
6 seconds left to go. Montana State holding on to a 2-point lead. Thanks to 2 big free throws by Kleins to give them, again, that 2-point stretch. This has been an incredible game between 2 teams that just keep going back and forth.
Now, with Montana State with 2 timeouts left, look for them to possibly let SUU set that half-court play up and then call a timeout after they get a look at the formation and then come back and talk about how to defend it. Because they've got 2 timeouts available. They've got 1 to burn here.
All right, Onwuasor is going to be your inbounder here on the near side.
Look for him to inbound it and then get a running catch.
Yep.
Montana State not going to call the timeout here.
Onwuasor moves it over to McGee. Hands it back to Onwuasor. Drives into the lane. They're going to call a foul. No and 1. The foul before the bucket with 2.4 seconds left. So Onwuasor is going to go to the free throw line. Southern Utah coaches all jumping up thinking he had gotten an N1, but they're going to say, nope, took place a little bit before.
Now, if he hits both these with Montana State, you have a chance to throw it long, get a long catch, call timeout, and then run a play from half court.
Just watching that replay, Coach. That's in the NBA. That's an N1.
Yes.
All right, on Wusor, lining up the free throws. Big ones. First one, no doubt about it. He's now 13 of 16 from the free throw line. He'll have one more. 93-92, Montana State with a 1-point lead. Second free throw up, got it to go. And Montana State calls the timeout. 93 all with 2.4 seconds left to go.
Now look for Montana State to kind of wrap Hall around where he can get a running catch or possibly Frey. And I've always said you could put the ball on the floor the same amount of seconds, so with 2 seconds left, you can usually get 2 dribbles, not 3. You don't want to stretch it, but look for one of their guards to get a running catch going toward their basket, put it on the floor twice, and then they got to let one fly.
2.4 seconds left to go. We're all square at 93 apiece on Wusor, that, by the way, has tied his career high. If he's able to get another point to drop, he'll set a career high, and he's certainly hoping he's going to have an opportunity to do so in another overtime period. So here we go. Set to inbound will be Sam Newman for Montana State.
I think Frey's going to get the ball. I think Hall.
Newman running the baseline over to Frey. Frey launches it. It's going to be short, and we're going to double overtime.
This is way past my bedtime now, Scott, I tell you.
93-93, Montana State, Southern Utah. We'll go to break, come back with double overtime as Weber State just sits back and says, hey, you guys just keep playing all the overtimes you want.
Out.
This is Big Sky Basketball and watch BigSky.com.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
Hi, my name is Parker Walbeck. I've spent the last 3 years traveling to over 15 different countries, capturing adrenaline-boosting moments, living my dream as a filmmaker. And it all started with the opportunities I was given at Southern Utah University. Within months of transferring to SUU, I was given access to film school events, travel with sports teams, and leading campus groups, which all combined to give me the experience and confidence that I needed to launch my career as a filmmaker. I'm proof that SUU can take you everywhere.
93 all. One overtime's not enough. We need another one. Double OT between Montana State and Southern Utah. Scott Gerard alongside the coach, Joe Cravens. Coach, let's go Ernie Banks. Let's play 2.
Let's play a couple. I tell you what, like I said before the first overtime, we've had the 2 games before this were great basketball games, hotly contested, and I thought, well, they can't get much better than that. Now we've got a double overtime game.
All right. Now keep in mind, you got a bunch of players with some foul trouble for Montana State. Green's out of the game. Kleins is out of the game. Everett's out of the game. All with fouling out. And Frey's got 4 fouls.
Southern Utah trying desperately to win their first ever game in the Big Sky Conference tournament. Montana State has not won one since 2009.
Hall drives, can't get it to fall. Here comes Marshall, handing off to McGee. McGee into the lane, push shot, missed. Fight for the rebound, falls in Hall's hands, and he'll have it going the other way.
Boy, have these 2 teams played hard, too. This is one of those where none of them, not one player, is going to leave anything on the floor.
Tyler Hall, long 3, gets it to fall. Your first team member of the All Big Sky Conference, showing what he's worth
and Onwuasor was right in his grill. He was on him like freckles on a redhead, partner, and he still knocked that one in.
Onwuasor driving into the paint, trying to answer, shots blocked, but he'll get to the free throw line.
They can't keep Onwuasor off the free throw line.
No, they can't.
Going now for his 18th and 19th free throw.
Onwuasor with these 2 free throws is going to set the record for most free throw attempts in a game in the Big Sky Conference tournament. And if he makes both, he'll break that record. He misses one, he'll have one more. 96-93, Montana State up by 3. Onwuasor buries that one.
He's finally starting to look a little tired. Of course, he has taken over guarding Hall here in these last 2 overtimes.
Well, he has played 35 minutes, too.
That'll do it.
Frey into the lane, and they're going to call a foul on Southern Utah.
On McGee guarding the ball. He got his hands in there.
96-94. We're going to break the century mark, probably for both teams.
McGee is one of those what I call prom date foul there. Keep your hands to yourself, young man.
Frey, wait, you're just
you're
in classic form right
it's
now.
Getting late.
First free throw up and good. Frey's got one more to push this to a 2-possession game, and he does. So Montana State now leading 98-94.
You know, the thing I like about Frey for a freshman, he hadn't changed expressions all night.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, good, bad, or indifferent, he just keeps the same facial expression and just plays.
Foul away from the ball, and they're going to get Montana State holding on, and another set to line, another trip to the free throw line. So going to the free throw line, Onwuasor holding up as he was trying to run a cut.
Wow.
98-94 is our score. Montana State up by 4.
He's played 35 minutes. He spent about 10 minutes at the free throw line tonight.
And I think he's starting to feel it too at that free throw line. He's made 1 out of his last 3.
And he didn't shoot that one very well. He just kind of chunked that one up there.
Second shot up and good. So 2 for 4 in the last 4 trips to the free throw line. Cuts the lead down to 3. Tyler Hall hands it off to Fry. Fry picked up by McGee.
I'm very surprised. Southern Utah has played almost entirely man-to-man in these overtimes where they've been really giving Southern Utah or Montana State trouble all night in their 1-3-1.
Onwuasor fell down, claiming that Hall pushed him. But Hall gets the separation he needs, buries the 3, and now we've got a 6-point lead. 101-95 is Montana State trying to run away with this one in double overtime. Marshall's not about to have it, though. Drives in, lays it up off the glass.
What a terrific shot by the senior.
Frey crossing the timeline. Handing off to Newman. Newman trying to post up Green, instead has to hand it back to Frey. Frey gets the corner into the lane. He can lay it up and can't get it to fall. Southern Utah with the rebound. Down by 4, 101-97. Marshall trying to hand off to Onwuasor. Gets into the lane, can't get it to fall. He'll go, no, they go offensive.
Well, I think Newman was there. I also think he sold it a little bit too.
Onwuasor gets hit with the penalty, or gets hit with the offensive foul, and with a 4-point lead. Montana State already a 2-possession lead. Hand off to Hall. Hall swinging it around the horn, over to Green. Green back to Hall. Hall with 9 seconds left, picked up by Onwuasor. Dishes over, left wing 3, shot up and no good. Great rebound, ripped down by Will Joyce. Over to McGee. McGee, kiss off the glass, got it to fall. Southern Utah on a 4-0 run, cutting that lead down to 2, 101-99 with 1:33 left to go.
Hall needs to, again, assert himself, get to the basket, get himself to the free throw line.
Hall drives the lane, cross-court pass. Into the lane, shot up and missed, and another big rebound by Southern Utah.
Hall keeps making the appropriate pass, but he's passing to guys who can't shoot the basketball. He's got to let one go. I mean, he's twice been right at the basket where he probably would have got himself to the free throw line. The kid is so unselfish, it is almost a fault right now with him.
Onwuasor gets a timeout. He needs to go sit on a chair somewhere and get a rest, because my goodness, have these two teams been going back and forth.
They're starting to resemble two punch-drunk fighters now, aren't they? It's hard just getting one foot down in front of the other.
I mean, we've had, 12 rounds of a heavyweight battle between these two teams, and you're seeing some of the replays on these teams going back and forth. And again, a great shot once again by Hall to push this to a 6-point lead, but Southern Utah just won't go away. A bucket from McGee, a bucket from Marshall, and now an defensive rebound leading to an opportunity to tie or take the lead with 1:07 left to go.
SUU with no timeouts. Montana State, Coach Brian Fisher's done a nice job of what I said earlier, hoarding his timeouts. Remember, he didn't use a timeout on that possession where he had a chance. I thought he'd call timeout and run a sideline out of bounds play. But now with 2 timeouts left and SUU with none, that will really work to the Bobcats' advantage.
101-99. 1:07 left to go in this one, folks. Thanks for making this part of your evening here on WatchBigSky.com. As you're seeing Southern Utah coming in as an 11 seed. They've only won 5 games on the season. If you're that coaching staff, they're like, where was this fight earlier in the year?
Well, like I said, this could make their season essentially.
Yeah.
A win in the conference tournament would wipe all that bad taste out of their mouth coming off of a 5-26 seed.
And this is the kind of performance that even if they lose this game, I got to imagine you can build on this and carry it into next year.
No question. A lot of good-looking young players, a lot of players that need to get in the weight room and get bigger and stronger.
Well, they're not looking about next year right now. They're thinking of closing this thing out. McGee to Onwuasor, down by 2. Southern Utah. Onwuasor into the lane, push shot up and in, and we're tied once again. A 6-0 run from Southern Utah with 53 seconds left to go.
A little handoff to a ball screen for Onwuasor. Montana State did a good job of playing it, but once again, Onwuasor just almost willing that basket in.
Montana State has gone scoreless in the last 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Frey gets the screen. Can't get the corner, though. Hands it over to Hall. Hall with 5 seconds. Long three-pointer. Can't get it to drop. And Southern Utah's got the ball with 25 seconds left.
And they'll get the last shot.
Southern Utah can sit for the last shot. Onwuasor, expect him to be aggressive. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets to the free throw line as well. 12 seconds left.
Montana State's got to be real careful who they help with. They'll switch this ball screen.
Onwuasor into the lane. Shot off the glass. Can't get it to fall. Frey at the buzzer. It won't fall, and we're going to triple overtime.
Good thing we're in a place where things stay open late, is all I can say. Holy mackerel.
Let's go to break. 101. Triple overtime next here on WatchBigSky.com.
We know we don't look,
Like most nurses you've met.
but when as a single mom, I needed to ensure a secure future for my son.
And I wanted to save lives.
We enrolled in the Montana State University College of Nursing's Caring for Our Own program.
At MSU, we receive training that allows us to return home to treat our people. At Montana State University, we learn to heal and strengthen our communities.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
101. Triple overtime as we are live here at the Reno Event Center as the Southern Utah Thunderbirds and Montana State all square at 101 apiece. Triple overtime, Coach.
Well, we're getting our money's worth, that's for sure.
I think the Big Sky's getting their money's worth.
Wow. These officials are earning their money as you and I are.
All right, so you've got Green with 4 fouls. Keep an eye on that. Frey with 4 fouls. Also 4 fouls across the board for other players here on this team, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. For Onwuasor with 4 fouls, Marshall with 4 fouls. Tip controlled by Montana State. And here comes Hall. Both these teams are on fumes right now. And Weber State just sitting back saying, hey, if you want to go another couple overtimes, we'd be cool with that.
And we've not seen the 1-3-1 from SUU.
Ball goes out of bounds off of Montana State. Southern Utah holds on to it.
SUU straight man-to-man in all 3 of these overtimes.
Onwuasor crossing the timeline. Picked up there. Waits. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Ball nearly gets knocked out of bounds by Frey. Onwuasor starts the offense with 8 seconds left to go. Got to get something going. Frey over to McGee. McGee takes a 3, misses it. Fight for the rebound, finally brought down by Montana State. 4 minutes left to go, and you can tell both these teams are just dead tired. Montana State's going to call a timeout.
Tyler Hall is his 10th rebound. He now has a double-double, but we've played about 2.5 days here. You ought to have a double-double by this time.
Onwuasor, keep in mind, he's got 4 fouls, so the next one he's gone. Marshall's got 4 fouls. He'll be gone on the next one as well. Vazzolo has got 4 fouls, and he's playing primarily because Kleins was lost to foul trouble. And keep an eye on Frey, too, also with 4 fouls. You play triple overtime, you're going to get some teams in foul trouble.
Randy Onwuasor only 3 points away from the Big Sky Conference tournament record of 42.
And I believe we're just 2 points away from being the highest combined score of a Big Sky Conference game as well.
We are also about a minute away from me being the thirstiest I've ever been for a Miller Lite.
You know what? First one's on me. How about that?
Like I say, it's a good thing we're in a place where things stay open late here.
Oh, that's great. All right, 101, 401 left to go in triple overtime between Southern Utah and Montana State. Both these teams have their fan bases in the Mountain Time Zone, so we got fans of Southern Utah and Montana State watching this game at 11:30 at night. And they're loving every second of this. Hall trying to create something offensively into the lane, turnaround jump shot, missed. I think you're going to see a few short shots.
Short, you can tell that was just a fatigue miss there. Of course, he is now at 47 minutes. Tyler Hall with 32, Onwuasor with 39.
Onwuasor trying to go baseline, missed shot, and Montana State's got it going the other way. When you're dead tired like this, it might be worth getting into the free throw or getting to the rim and see if they'll get to the free throw line.
This is a battle of attrition now. Every kid out here has played 30 to 40 minutes. We're looking at 46 minutes, 48 minutes, 46, 46. These guys have played forever.
Hall, pull-up shot, short once again, but he's going to be able to pull down his own rebound, flips it over to Frey. Frey, left wing three-point shot, missed, short on that one as well. And we've got a foul down low.
From Zach Green.
And Zach Green is going to send somebody to the free throw line.
And Zach Green's 5th foul, which is huge.
Will Joyce, I believe, is going to be the one shooting free throws. Will Joyce, not a particularly good statistically free throw shooter, at 57%.
Will Joyce now with a double-double, 13 points, 11 rebounds. In fact, Zach Green, the game's leading rebounder with 12, just fouled out.
So 2 free throw attempts. We're stuck at 101. Nobody has scored here in the third overtime, but Joyce just buried that free throw. He'll have one more. Lines up the second free throw. Shot up. Back iron. Missed it. Tyler Hall holding on to possession with 2:48 left to go. Montana State and Southern Utah both dead tired. Hall loses the handle on the shot. On Wusor, pulls it down. Hall looking at the official saying, no foul. They say play on.
Well, it sure looked like he got hit across the wrist there.
2:28 left to go. Southern Utah by 1. On Wusor, gets a screen, gets into the lane, puts up a shot. Can't get it to fall, but there's Joyce with a rebound and puts it back up and in. 104-101. As Will Joyce has all points in this third overtime. A free throw and a putback with 2:05 left to go. Southern Utah trying to pull the big upset. Hand off to Frey. Frey into the lane, kiss off the glass, can't get it to fall. Putback missed by Montana State, and Southern Utah holds on to possession. Joyce with a key rebound on that.
Huge defensive possession now by Montana State. If this gets to 5, that could be insurmountable. And I'm basing that on fatigue as much as anything else.
On Wusor, surveying the court, 9 seconds. Into the lane, puts his head down, can't get the shot, gets his own board, puts it up, it won't fall, and Montana State gets the rebound. Joe Vazzulo pulls it down. Here comes Hall going the other way. Pull up 3, shot, no good. Back iron, fight for the rebound on Wusor's got it. 1:13 left to go. And as you mentioned, another big key possession. If Southern Utah can find a way to get points, Montana State may not have what it's take to, may not have enough left in the tank to try to overcome that lead.
Well, if SUU scores here, Montana State may be in a situation where when they score, they may have to foul to kind of lengthen this game.
On Wusor misses it, but there's going to be a foul, a push underneath, and they're going to call Will Joyce for the foul. It'll send Montana State to the free throw line. Frey's pretty much trying to carry on Wusor down the court.
That's going to send the freshman Kirby to the free throw line.
And I've got him at 47% on the season.
9 for 19. No, they send Hall.
Wow. So Hall at 84%.
That's a pretty good trade-off.
Yeah, no doubt. First free throw is up and back iron, missed it. You can really tell fatigue setting in for Tyler Hall. And you can't blame him one bit. He's got one more. Second shot up, gets that one to fall. 104-102, 48 seconds left to go. Southern Utah can take this down to about 16, 17 seconds left on the shot clock, or on the game clock. On Wusor, just gonna run that clock down.
And try to bully his way to the basket again.
10 seconds left. Waits, crossover dribble into the lane, puts a shot up and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. These are gonna be 2 critical free throws for Randy on Wusor.
Now we're in the situation I referred to a few seconds ago. If he hits both of these, Montana State has to race the ball down the court, score, call timeout. Then they're going to be forced to foul to try to string this thing out a little bit. Montana State with 2 timeouts left, SUU with 1.
On Wusor, first shot up, got it. 3-point game, 105-102.
Now this creates a 2-possession game. If he makes it 2 possessions, meaning Montana State's going to have the ball twice. They've got to, again, race this down, get the best shot they can, get it to the basket. If they score it, then call timeout.
He buried that one. 4-point lead for Southern Utah, trying to pull the upset. Frey, dump out to Hall. Hall, turnaround 3-point shot, missed, airballed it. Fight for the rebound, brought down by Marshall. Marshall to Onwuasor. 9 seconds left. And with 8 seconds left, Southern Utah is fouled by Montana. Onwuasor is going to go to the free throw line, and it appears that Southern Utah is ever so close to pulling off the big upset, winning their first ever game in Big Sky Conference tournament play. But they've got to seal this one away with 8.7 seconds left and leading by 4.
Well, if he hits both these, Montana State's only hope is to run it down, hit a 3, foul immediately, hope that SUU misses both free throws, then hit another 3.
First free throw is up and good. That's the 24th free throw attempt by Onwuasor in this game. He's 19 of 24.
Now with 42 points, which ties the Big Sky Conference tournament record.
Second shot up and drops. The young man's got 43 points. What a tremendous output from him. Hall dishes off. They've got to get a three-point shot up. It drops with 1.8 seconds left. Of course it does. 108-105. Southern Utah's got to inbound to Marshall, and Marshall is fouled with 0.5 seconds left.
And you're fine to try to make these. You're almost as good off to miss this intentionally.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to leave points at the free throw line. So if you hit both these, you assure yourself of a win.
Marshall steps up to the free throw line. He's got 2 free throws. Montana State is ever so close to going home in a shocking fashion. Onwuasor has played 53 minutes in this game, Coach.
Wow. What a workhorse, what a physical specimen. And a new Big Sky tournament record with 43 points.
You've got Hall played 51 minutes in this game, and you've got 3 players, Onwuasor, Marshall, and McGee, all with 50-plus minutes in this ball game.
Unbelievable game. Southern Utah on the verge of getting their first ever win in the Big Sky Conference tournament. The officials now checking how much time should be left on the clock. SUU up 3, one make here, seals the win. Even if he misses both of them, they're going to have to heave one in from three-quarter court just to tie it up. So this one is about as far in the bank as you can get it.
And now it definitely is in the bank. Yeah. 4-point game. Marshall's going to add another free throw at this point to try to push it to 5. But either way, this one's done. Second shot missed, and that's how it ends. Montana State loses to Southern Utah. Southern Utah 5-26 on the season. But the 6th win, ever so sweet, a triple overtime victory in the opening round of the Big Sky Conference tournament. And Coach, you've seen a lot of basketball. This one was one for the ages.
This was a terrific game, a terrific day of college basketball. 3 great games here, capped off by this unbelievable overtime game. 2 great, Randy Onwuasor setting a tournament record with 43 points. We got our money's worth today, Bart.
Yeah, we certainly did. This has been one that was so much fun to watch go back and forth. It appeared like so many times Montana State was ready to pull away, but Southern Utah showing some fight and grit that we haven't frankly seen a lot from them this year, and somehow tonight was the night where they put it all together.
Remember, Montana State up 13 at halftime, and SUU comes back in a big way. Montana State up big at the end of the first overtime. Looked like they had it in the bank. SUU comes back again. Unbelievable effort by the Thunderbirds.
Really a tremendous performance from this team. Randy Onwuasor is going to get a lot of the credit in this one, but if you look across the board, there were so many other players that came up with big moments. Will Joyce, John Marshall, you look down the list, James McGee with big threes. Down the line, there were so many players who came up big for Southern Utah.
Will Joyce, a double-double, the senior going out. It had been so easy for the Thunderbirds to give in. 5-26, let's end this. Let's pack the uniforms away and go on spring break. What an unbelievable effort by the Thunderbirds.
Final score in this one, 109 to 105. As we go down some of the scoring list in this one, Randy Onwuasor with 43 points in 53 minutes. Just a remarkable achievement from him. 53 minutes in a game. I'm not sure how you're able to stay on the court for that long.
Well, he had trouble getting up and down the court, and we saw as this last overtime was winding down how much fatigue was playing a part in this. Tyler Hall, everything short. Randy Onwuasor barely getting up and down the court. This was an unbelievable college game.
It really was, too. And again, you look at John Marshall, who filled up the stat sheet. I thought he was key in critical moments. It seemed like everybody for the Southern Utah team had big moments. Let's look at Montana State, though. I mean, this one's a rough one for them, and it may be a tough one to overcome for a while, as Tyler Hall had a tremendous performance as well. He ends up with a grand total of 33 points in this game, Coach, but again, just not enough, as Southern Utah just kept answering every call.
Well, Southern Utah, again, just their effort was incredible for a team. And we talked a couple times about the first day of a conference tournament, teams not having a great year, how easy it is just to kind of show up and sign off and pack the uniforms and let's go home. We had 3 great college games capped off by one of the darndest performances I've ever seen by a 5-26 team, giving Southern Utah University their first ever win in the Big Sky Conference tournament.
This is a team that's had its struggles. I mean, the record speaks for itself. 5 wins, 5-26. You don't expect this kind of performance against a Montana State team that if they had beaten Weber year, wouldn't have even been playing today. They would have had that first round bye.
No, it's been a great day of basketball. I'm just hoping we can go home now. We don't have anything after this, another game or anything.
No, we don't. I got a women's game here in about 12 hours from now.
Well, I'm going to let you handle that. I'm going to take the day off.
There
You're
you
a lot
go.
younger than I am.
Sounds good. Not by much. All right. We'll wrap things up. Again, we hope to be able to catch up with Coach, but looks like it's all for naught on that. He needs to go celebrate. We got let's look through a couple of highlights here while we wait for the coach, as some of the games from this really kind of a really crazy back and forth game that went back and forth between these two teams. Again, Randy Onwuasor, there's so many highlights that you could look at this young man and what he did and how he was able to put this thing together. Again, getting into the lane, finishing at the rim, so many opportunities and so many N1s. He got himself to the free throw line, Coach, 25 times tonight. 20-25. It was really incredible.
There was a time, remember in the second half, I said he's not having a great offensive game. He's kind of turned into the consummate point guard where he's just kind of running his team. He's become almost non-aggressive, and then all of a sudden when they needed him, boy, did he answer the bell. Getting to the free throw line 25 times, that's got to be a conference tournament record there. I can't remember a guy shooting 25 free throws in a regular season game, let alone the conference tournament game.
I'll let you hand that headset over to the head coach of Southern Utah as they get the big win tonight. Final score in this one, 109-105. Southern Utah 5-26 on the season, but the 6th win is certainly a sweet one for this team as they're able to get the big win tonight. Again, an incredible triple overtime performance. The head coach joins us now, Todd Simon. And Coach, it's one for the ages.
Wow, that was something else. I mean, it just you get to that first overtime and you're ready to roll, and next thing you know, I mean, what a heavyweight fight that was. I felt both teams played really well, and nobody wanted to lose.
No, haymaker after haymaker, but it appeared there at halftime like Montana State was going to do what a lot of people expected it to do. You know, it was tight there at first, but, a lot of people thought, here comes the Bobcats. They'll win this game by double digits. What does it say about your team at this point that they were able to reel them back in?
Well, I told the guys when we challenged them at halftime, and the look that they had, and as we progressed through the season, that learning how to win, and that warrior mentality of just doing the simple things right. We don't need heroes. We need guys that are going to excel at what they do. And they look back and they were determined. They refused to lose.
Randy's going to get a lot of the credit, and much deserved, but you had a great cast of characters. I thought Marshall played well. McGee hit big threes. This truly was a team effort to get this win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you had Will Joyce, who's kind of emerged late in the season for us as a senior, and after not playing much in his career, comes and gets 16 and 15 and 44 minutes. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic on some of those putbacks. yeah, so we were extremely proud. But it was a whole cast of guys, and we couldn't be more proud of this group.
All right, so by my count, you had 3 players tonight, Onwuasor, Marshall, and McGee, each with 50-plus minutes in this game. How do you try to recover in 48 hours to get ready for Weber State?
Well, we told the guys in the third overtime, there's a reason when we're at 6 a.m. at elevation, doing the conditioning that we're doing. This is for that moment, and so guys, we'll take care of them. We got a great staff that'll take care of them tonight, and we'll get them ready, but I think their heart's bigger than that.
Coach, I'm not going to lie. From a selfish standpoint, it was a pleasure and an honor to be a part of this one. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I
All
appreciate
right.
that.
Congratulations on the big win. Montana State goes down. Southern Utah gets the victory 109-105. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Full slate of women's games right here on WatchBigSky.com.